piece on our heads, Mary.
Can you guys call at the same time? Can they call at the same time? Hey,
So.
Jeff, can they call at the same time?
What?
Derek is also the producer.
We can't get to when this thing they haven't worked out here yet. Is getting
7 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's places, headphones on. Let's be professional about this.
Side feed microphone.
Good. Sideways microphones, people. Speak into the rubber band.
Can you guys?
Okay, here we go.
This is for Punk Lighting.
This is Punk Lighting.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeff and Janki Show. Coming to you 1 week, one damn week before Comic-Con.
Yes, we're going to Comic-Con. Yeah!
Nerd Super Bowl.
Yeah!
Nerd Super Bowl. Which means if you want to listen to us next week, it'll be through the magic of reruns.
Yeah, a bunch of reruns. Mary Dallas reruns. That's what I want to hear.
How about? In fact, speaking of Mary Dallas rerun, we got the new hot Mary Dallas look.
Time on the show.
It's so good to be here, you guys. Thank you for having me.
Mary's got blonde hair today.
We got a show for you. Yeah.
Excited.
And we were hoping Bruce was a girl's name, but no such luck.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
This is my TV husband.
She brought her TV husband,
She
Bruce.
brought her TV husband, Bruce.
Yeah,
He's here to prove that 4 is a crowd.
They were going to have a Mary sandwich and then you showed up.
Yeah, we're getting our Mary sandwich. We're going to go all our Mary way for 2 hours.
I guess I'll be the mayo on
Or the mustard.
We're going to explore the ways of ancient Greece.
Yeah, cheeseburger, and 1 cherry coke, 1 zucchini,
That's
1
one way
cucumber
of putting
sauce.
it.
Shire, Freeman, gyros.
Tzatziki.
We are going spelunking with Mary.
Aren't you just having your Greek hamburger fantasies, like your cheeseburger?
I'm from
right now?
Detroit. We used to vacation in Chicago. I've been to enough Chicago cheeseburger
born.
restaurants. Yeah. Detroit? What part?
No, Chicago.
Wow, what part?
Melrose Park.
Wow, Melrose Park?
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Thank you.
When I was in, the last time I was there, I was trying to find the movie theater where Batman's parents were killed in Batman Begins. And I asked Christopher Nolan when I interviewed him, and he couldn't remember the name of the theater. But he assured me, he goes, either the front or the back is in England. And I thought, you're not helping. But he goes, but definitely one part, either the front or the back is Chicago, and the one part is England and one part is Chicago. But he couldn't remember which. Jerk. So, as you may remember, gang, last time Mary Dallas was here, she was promoting her show Barbie Rehab.
That's the one.
Which is in its new season, right?
Yes, we're filming season 2 as right now. We have Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
Size does matter.
Yeah.
The star
He's
of
going to be
there's
Dr.
more.
Tom, you guys. Dr. Tom.
the
Tom.
star of Michael Mann's Heat, the amazing Saving Private Ryan, and Dr. Drew's Rehab House. And speaking of Detroit, Sizemore is from Detroit.
Yeah.
Right.
And the last time he went home, he was arrested on the set of the Nain Rouge. This is true story.
Oh, wow.
I guess for all sorts of malfeasance from the last time he was in Detroit. He never got to finish the movie. Nain Rouge is one of the big Detroit urban legends. He's supposedly this little red goblin who's caused nothing but problems in Detroit. They'd see him before like the big. This is true. They saw him before the French Indian Wars there. They saw him before the riots in '67. They saw him before the big ice storm of '76. Anytime you see this little goblin, you're due for like 6 months of terrible luck.
Oh, wow.
So
I don't want to see him.
So Tom Sizemore was going to star in the movie about the Nain Rouge, as he was playing a cop hunting the Nain Rouge. And apparently he saw him because he was immediately arrested on set, and the movie had to declare force majeure.
Wow.
Where everyone gets everyone gets paid except the producer, who dies in a sea of red ink.
Oh my God,
That sucks.
But once a year around Halloween, they have the Nain Rouge walk, where some people will paint themselves as the goblin, and you'll see somebody as like the local priest from Detroit in the 1800s we'll banish him. We'll banish the Nain Rouge from Detroit, hoping to banish.
Exercise him.
Yeah, basically get rid of cold weather and
Get that
everything
priest.
else.
Yeah.
And send him to Warren.
Yeah. Send him to Warren.
How do you know about Warren?
Well, I have family in Warren. Eureka Street.
You know, I was born in Detroit, but my first 5 years I lived in Warren. We lived in
Small world.
I lived on Roan Drive, and it was really depressing because the last time I went back there, there were so few kids in Warren that my elementary school, Parkwood, had been turned into an old folks' home.
I guess they all went to the Great Lakes.
They did. The Great Lakes. You got to show. No, you moron! I'm showing you my Michigan portable map. Oh. Our state is in the shape of a mitten.
Yes.
High five, down low, too slow.
Yeah. No, and I meant moron fondly.
Oh, it's so funny.
So, Bruce, since we have Mary on, we're going to lead with you, only because we're going to make Mary tell us her life story after this. Bruce, walk us through. What are you doing in Barbie Rehab?
Well, my character is the husband to Mary. And
Lucky man, go on. And of course, you granted all
lucky or
the
crazy. I'm not sure which.
you're granted all the being a great girl from Chicago. She grants you all the rights a normal husband would have.
No, he's the one that doesn't want to do anything in the bedroom.
Yeah,
It's only once a year, you guys.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Well, make sure you see the interesting parts of Mary when you do.
I'll let you know.
You got to see the 12 Days of Crapness where it goes.
Yeah, episode is it 11 and
8 and 11, I
8
think.
and 11.
Yeah,
Interesting.
12, I forget.
Wow. Now, how'd you get your set card?
Well, I just worked on different projects, and Barbie Rehab is a SAG project. So,
Bravo.
Yay, woohoo.
and I worked on a lot of short films with Peter Chen. And
Yeah, we just won some awards.
Wow, congratulations.
yeah, we won a few awards for Who's She Talking to?
Who's she talking to? Yeah.
So yeah, that's
What's the
how
plot of that? Who is she talking to?
The plot is he's like a grandpa, and he's
We're meeting in the park to play Frisbee, and
with this young girl.
well, no, I want to hook him up with a young girl.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So I call her and make a date. It's like, nobody wants to date me.
and when she meets him, she's like, "You're not young and handsome."
You're old. That's a different one, though, isn't it? Christine.
Oh,
Jace.
who's she marrying? Okay,
Yeah, that's who she marrying. Who's she talking to? Because I'm on the phone talking to the girl, trying to get him a date. And he's like,
And I think Christine Jace is in that.
yeah, she's in that.
Yeah.
Christine Chase.
Jace.
Chase.
Jay. Yeah.
And what is she from?
She's Bad Girl. She was in Bad Girl.
Cool.
And she's got quite a few credits, too. On
Any horror, sci-fi, or?
that I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's some of the stuff that he's done.
And Bruce, like Jeff and I, is going to Comic-Con next week.
I am. I will be in San Diego Saturday.
Bruce told us he's stalking how many Power Rangers?
All of them.
Barbie Rehab.
Bruce wants to reunite all the Power Rangers in heaven for some reason.
There's been a lot of pink rangers in the last 20 years. That's your color, isn't it?
Pink and blue.
Yeah, pink and blue.
Pink, blue, black, and white.
Represents.
Wow, bravo.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom Sizemore is Dr. Tom. He's using his experience from Celebrity Rehab to corral and fix the patients.
Really? Is he
Yeah.
doing a Dr. Drew impression?
You know, I don't know about that one. Is he? Well, that's gonna have to ask Vanessa and Derek.
Yeah.
My late mother used to work with Dr. Drew at Huntington Memorial. when we
over
first
there in
moved to California.
Pasadena.
Yeah, Pasadena.
Pasadena,
Yeah, off of Huntington Drive.
She always
Right.
liked him, and we were in like high school and stuff, listening to Love Line. She goes, "Oh, that's Dr. Pinsky." She heard us listening, and it's like, but Dr. Drew, Mom. No, that's Dr. Pinsky at work.
You can't say it like that.
Funny.
Yeah, but I mean, Cop Ken and Midge, or Teresa, right?
Yeah.
That's Vanessa.
Vanessa
Bednar
Jace?
and Derek Orr. He's Cop Ken, and they have like a relationship like Sam and Diane from Cheers.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's like
Cheers, by the way, was created by Redlands grads, the Charles brothers. Les and something Charles, and they went to the University of Redlands.
Where is that supposed to take place?
Cheers is in Boston. It's
Yeah.
in
Boston.
Supposedly.
Boston.
Boston.
Actually,
Boston
it's
baked
actually
beans. We love
It's
Boston
actually the
baked
Paramount.
beans,
It's
don't
actually
we?
the Paramount back lot.
It is. But I went to the actual one in Boston.
Did you really?
Something
Wow.
in Finch. Something.
Oh, that was a real plate where they film it on the outside.
The outside
they
is an actual place, yeah, but the inside is totally different.
I remember when I would do aliens on Star Trek. There would be Frasier was always shooting. Frasier was always shooting nearby, and you'd have this uncomfortable sweat-filled rubber head as you're walking past the Frasier sound stages. And the Frasier people would be there like 2 days a week. They'd knock out an episode and be done. And you'd be in wax teeth and these shell-like ears and painted brown with like this bunt cake wrapped around your head for like a week. And it's like, why couldn't this be Frasier? So you're so like this because you had wax teeth and you'd just be sitting there crying and they repaint your eyes because as soon as the makeup was so toxic, as soon as the doors would open and sunlight would hit you, the makeup would just start stinking up and your eyes would start crying.
I've had prosthetics. It's
Living the dream,
brutal.
baby. What'd you wear prosthetics on?
I played a ghost in a short film, the very first short film I've ever done. I was just the ghost of Grandma.
A little young for that. Were you stretching your
put
buttons?
prosthetics make me look like an old hag, like 70-ish.
Wow.
I had the hair already.
Oh.
Is that the one with the red hair?
No, it's actually my hair is like all frizzy, and I'm wearing I'm walking down the street.
Nifty.
We also have Bei Ling, you guys.
Bei Ling.
Bai Ling from The Crow.
Not only from The Crow, I did 2 stories on her. I did an article on her for Starlog.
She's on our show.
She's in a really great movie you should watch on Netflix. Nobody saw it when it came out. It's a great movie. It's called Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yes, I love that. It was all
That
CG.
sounds familiar.
She's hot as hell. She's wearing like aviator glasses, sunglasses, and she has like a boa staff.
Yeah, that was I dug that movie.
But the problem with her is she did episode 3. One of the great quotes she gave me is she told me her body is a haunted house and ghosts would take her over in different roles. And I thought, boy, oh boy.
Wow.
And then here's the terrible thing. Here's where the ghosts should have been more careful. She posed for Playboy on the cover of Playboy holding a lightsaber.
She did.
Because she was going to be in episode 3. And George Lucas, who was
mad.
so angry.
You're
that
using my lightsaber.
She basically she used his lightsaber on the cover of Playboy. And so he edited her out of the movie. So what's interesting is
What? She was already
It's okay. She was in The Crow.
yeah, she is in The Crow. And she's really hot in The Crow, too.
She's really nice.
Remember
yeah.
they
Great actress.
killed the girl? She goes, our toy broke. She has a really hot line. And she's pushing the dead girl on the bed.
Yeah.
And she goes, I want her eyes. Remember that? She wants the
Oh my
eyes.
gosh, she's good. She plays Chinese Barbie on our show.
Wow. Well,
She has her own box.
she's hot and slightly crazy. And when it was my memories of her from, I'm putting it slightly in there for
She's very
legal
hot.
purposes.
She's hilarious.
How tall is she?
Taller than me. I'm short shit though.
Maybe 5'2".
Yeah, but she had
Little
big
thing?
she had
I
big
think she's
heels
taller
on
than
when I
me.
interviewed her, but she was barely 5 feet. But she did wear earrings that said "sexy" for some reason. I mean, she was sexy, but I didn't think she needed to put that on her earrings. But I'm no fashion consultant.
Yeah. No, you're not.
She definitely is sexy because my neighbor saw some pictures from one of the launch parties. He's like, Bruce, is that Bai Ling? I'm
Wow.
like, it is. He's like, oh my God, she's so sexy. I'm like, there's lots of sexy Barbies on the show.
But
Which
Bailey-
one?
Bailey is
Hawaiian
huge.
Tropi.
Hawaiian. She's pretty hot. She's gonna be at Comic-Con with Bruce.
Yep.
They're gonna have all kinds of Barbie rehab.
Where's your booth going to be, Bruce? Do you know where you're?
I don't know the exact location. I haven't gotten that information yet.
We're gonna have shirts and wristbands,
wristbands,
bags, pins,
bags.
Yeah.
everything.
We're gonna wear our T-shirts and carry our posters around and wrangle up some more guests for the show.
I love that poster.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you guys gonna wear those outfits?
Oh God,
later?
that would be fun. Who's paying for it? We would definitely do that.
Well, Comic-Con, the deal with Comic-Con is if you're going to do Comic-Con right, and I used to be, since Jeff and I started going in the wild 90s, I used to do my interviews, but I've gotten lazy in my work habits. Once I discovered the parties take precedence. Keep your ear on the ground and you'll find several great parties a night at Comic-Con. The room parties are some of the best. What hotel are you staying at?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think a Best Western somewhere.
Okay.
If you guys want to sleep in my truck with me, that's okay.
Jeff can go.
I'm not going.
I'll speak with him.
That's right. You got to work.
I gotta work.
Well, Bruce, like Mary, Jeff just wants you to know, ass, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free.
Remember those bumper stickers? Mary does.
Bruce looks horrified.
He grew up in
I
North
don't know.
Carolina.
Are they going to have indica?
Huh?
Red hair sis, man.
You're from North Carolina?
Sensimian, man.
I am.
How close to Nag's Head?
Oh, Nags Head's on the beach, so maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
Boy, oh
Nags
boy.
Head's-
We used to camp in Nag's Head. We would have crab in the back. Nag's Head, Jeff and Mary, it's basically the story of the town was like that of the Fog, where the pirates who lived in Nag's Head would put a lantern on a donkey's head and make it look like a lighthouse. And so people would sail in with goods, thinking they were the lighthouse was gathering them in. They'd smash up on the rocks, and the people of Nag's Head would rob them blind and kill the survivors.
Brutal.
Welcome to North Carolina.
Pirate's life, man.
Pirate's life for me.
There you go.
Oh,
You still want to go to North Carolina, Mary?
yes.
That's where my folks are right now, my mom and sister.
This is true. And there's the town where they shot Evil Dead. Was that in South Carolina or North Carolina? The town where they make the paint. It smells of paint. The whole town smells of paint fumes. I'm blanking on the name. It's not too far from Dawson's Creek.
Okay, that was North Carolina.
Yeah, by Raleigh.
But closer to the
No.
border, right?
One Tree Hill, too, North Carolina, right?
Yes, same sets.
My folks are from
Dawson's
Tryon.
Creek and One Tree Hill shot at the old DEG studios. Dino De Laurentiis opened up a huge studio there because it was a right to work state, so he wouldn't have to pay extra. And he had this crappy little town in North Carolina that can double for anything. So if you look, the town from Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive is also where David Lynch shot Blue Velvet.
Oh, wow.
And the Eternal Classic, if you ever saw the Mark Wahlberg film, The Big Hit, they shot the Eternal Classic King Kong Lives in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow.
Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill.
There you go. Wow.
Yes, where you could get some fine tobacco products in Raleigh.
And good skis, too.
And Bruce,
Yes.
can you get your pillowcase for the the cross burning and whatever else you people do there?
Oh, yeah, I was never involved with that stuff.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so what was the first thing you ever did professionally, Bruce?
The first thing I ever did professionally was, and it's how I actually met Mary, was we met on the set of Grey's Anatomy.
Really?
She
We were background.
Wow, you were background in Grey's Anatomy.
We were doing background, and I got to work with Mary, and I got to work with Sandra Oh.
Sandra Oh is adorable.
She is nice.
And by
She
the way,
is.
I once said if you
Patrick
want to see her
Dempsey.
naked, I would recommend Dancing at the Blue Iguana.
You want to see her naked?
She was in Sideways, but I never saw it, so I don't know if she was naked in that. But Dancing at the Blue Iguana with Daryl Hannah, it runs once a month in IFC. Well worth checking out.
Yeah, she's in a new show now. I don't remember
Which
the
one?
name. I don't remember the name.
She used to be married to one of the guys from Sideways, one of Alexander Payne or his running producer partner. Was she nice to you guys?
She was super nice to me. I was like a little nervous.
Very
and
nice.
she looks at me over because I was doing an EMT scene. We were trying to save somebody. It was in season 9.
Now, was it background? Were you trying to save background? Because I know they wouldn't have worked that hard. Especially with non-union. Let him go. Let him go to code.
But she said to me, "Are you nervous?" I said a little bit. She said, "Don't be." And then I was fine after
Patrick
that.
Dempsey was pretty funny, too. Little guy.
Dempsey's a little guy.
He's cute.
I saw him at the premiere of my brother's movie. He had black fingernail polish, and he was dancing with who's the chick from ET? Drew Barrymore.
Barrymore.
Oh, I love her. And Steven Tyler has black nails too. When he came into our restaurant, he's so cute too.
Oh.
Where's the restaurant at?
It's in Palm Springs, but we just the lease just ended after 40
Which one
years.
is it? Which one is it?
Bit of Country. It
Bit of
was.
Country.
Now we have a restaurant in Ukaipa called Hickory Ranch Steakhouse. You guys. Sports
Hickory
Bar.
Ranch Steakhouse.
Hickory Ranch, Ukaipa, best steaks in town.
About
I'm
6
ready,
years
I'm
ago.
ready.
About
They
6
deliver too now.
I
about
bet
6
that,
years.
yeah.
6 years ago, I shot a teen sex comedy in Palm Springs. And we kept going to Baxter's and Ruby. I was the sputtering teacher.
Why didn't you go to her restaurant? You didn't
Yeah, I
know.
didn't know Mary then.
Patrick.
It was
You're
Ruby's.
fired.
It was Ruby's and Baxter's, baby, all the time. I mean, that's all they ever did.
Yeah.
You want to go to Ruby's? Oh man, I'm so sick of Ruby's. Can we go to Baxter's? Was a sandwich place, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it was either Ruby's or Baxter's, morning, noon, and night. And then it would hit like 115, and everybody would go crawling in the movie theater because it was one of the only air-conditioned places there.
Yeah. Springs.
Even the pool, no, there were no covers on the pool.
They had to buy big giant ice cubes, like to put in the pools because the pools were so hot in the summer.
Oh, God, it's like
When
taking
we-
a hot bath.
When we
Why
were
don't you just go get that iceberg that's on the Titanic?
Yeah.
when we were shooting the Teen Six comedy, it's when you had the deer all over. Remember when you had the deer statues all over? You had antelope or deer statues all over Palm Springs.
Oh, yeah. Is that where people paint them different?
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
in cities that they have, some have pelicans, some
And
have bears.
wherever you went,
horses.
all over Palm Springs that summer, it was nothing but people painting these antelopes different colors. And, you know.
Really? I don't remember
Yeah.
that. I remember spring break back then. Trying to get out of town took 2 hours.
For
And I-
2 hours.
They have a statue. They had a statue of Sonny Bono. I do remember that.
He used to come into our restaurant all the time.
Well, how was he? He was from Michigan. by
Very
the way.
nice guy. He was funny. Very nice
I
guy.
remember as a kid, and when I was like 5th grade, and I was just suffering on this Catholic school bus, and he pulled up in this red MG, and we waved at him. We were eyeing the MG before we realized it was Sonny Bono, and he was in Detroit to visit his relatives owned the biggest Dairy Queen in that part of Michigan.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty fancy stuff back
Dairy
then.
Queen.
Holy soft
Can you
serve.
think you can hook me up with an ice cream?
Yeah.
But he sees all these bored kids in their polyester St. Denis ties, and we were waving at him, and he waved at us and peeled out and cut off the bus. And I thought that was the coolest human being I'd ever seen.
He was really nice. And Drew Barrymore used to come into our restaurant too.
Did she
And every
really?
time she left, she goes, "You guys rock."
Wow.
Wait, if you guys are, so which lease? Which one's the lease coming run out?
It had already ended. We're gone from there.
Are you already gone? You
Yeah,
already
as
moved out?
as of about a month ago.
Well, I'm sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. I enjoyed your place.
It's
Should've
still
called
there.
me. I would've
It's
helped you
still
move
there,
stuff
though.
out.
Our cook took over. Our cook is the new owner now.
Did he keep the name?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so everything's still
Still the
functioning. It's
same,
still a
Just
restaurant.
we're not there. My family's gone.
I gotta be honest. I'm sorry I missed your family. All I can tell you is the place was boring as hell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Thursday night was the only night that was interesting because everyone went antiquing.
Oh,
And there was one comic shop in all of Palm Springs, and I think they only had like 4 comics.
yeah. Long time ago. It's big now.
Well, it
was
shows
a
you what
Toy
the
Store
age
and,
group of Palm Springs is.
yeah.
Yeah, in Palm Springs, the median age is 80. And it was like
I know our customers at some point they were dropping like flies. You guys, I mean,
They were just
most
like,
of the people when I was in Palm Springs that summer, most of the people looked like desert tortoises. Put a desert tortoise in
like George
a-
Hamilton, crispy.
Yeah.
yeah, crispy.
You put a desert tortoise in a sexy grandpa shirt, and you have some idea what Palm Springs was like. It was
Lots
pretty
of
horrible.
those.
I remember back then. Oh yeah.
You know who said they was going to miss the restaurant too?
Who?
Laura Dern.
Oh, Laura Dern.
talked to her
and
the other
Diane
day.
Ladd, they were regulars. I listen to this. Diane Ladd was a customer for like 20 years, and I used to sit down with her. I thought she was my customer that looked like Diane Ladd. So not too long ago, I was auditioning for Shameless, and I was talking about it to one of my customers, and she was sitting there with her husband, and she turned around, she goes, "Mary, get over here." So I walked over there. Yeah, customer that looks like Diane Ladd. She goes, "Do you know who I am?" I go, "Yeah, I'm a customer that looks like Diane Ladd." She goes, "I am Diane Ladd, you dummy. Sit down."
Wow.
She grabbed my face. She gave me. She's adorable. Oh, and all this time, I didn't know it was her.
Supposedly, daughter Laura was conceived during the making of Roger Corman's On Camera. There was a sex scene in the middle of The Wild Angels. That's the one where Bruce Dern dies halfway through. So Nicholson and the other bikers prop his corpse up and put a cigarette in his hand. Wow. Wild Angels is a crazy movie. And Laura Dern claims
I've
she was
seen
conceived during the making of it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You heard about that one with Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay, right? On the bus.
No, let's hear about that.
You're talking.
Let's hear that on worldwide radio.
On the train.
Yeah, on the train.
Sorry.
That would be
Trains,
the.
automobiles.
What was that thing called? It was Risky Business.
Yes, the one with the socks.
Oh, yeah, with the
Underwear.
sock. Put them old records on the show. Yeah.
I didn't even watching that. That movie did so much for both Bob Seger and Tangerine
love
Dream.
Bob Seger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody starts sliding in on the kitchen in their bun huggers after
And
that.
Rebecca De Mornay was going to be huge until they found out her father was the right-wing crackpot Wally George.
Oh, that's right.
Rebecca,
Oh,
how
my
can
God.
something as hot as Rebecca De Mornay be created by Wally George on Orange County?
Holy hot seat, man.
Holy
Wow.
I'm gonna have to use that one. Holy hot seat.
Holy hot
That's
seat,
my
Batman.
term of the week.
Do you want something to drink? You guys want? Yeah, let me see what I.
Oh, what happened to my car? I left it out
Oh,
there.
here.
didn't I?
It's
you
behind
go.
your.
Oh,
there.
it's behind my computer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay,
So,
Patrick. You guys were.
So also,
I'm trying to get some charge on my phone. I got to get more power here. When we get to when we get to 8 o'clock, I'm going to start streaming live, and it's going to get really good.
are we on a commercial break?
No, no, at 8 o'clock. We'll do our commercial break for our sponsors.
Got it. So, who also is on the show is Lisa Wilcox.
From Friday the 13th. No,
Oh my
Nightmare
God.
on Elm Street.
Nightmare
right?
on Elm Street.
Yeah,
on Elm
Nightmare on Elm
Street.
Street. We are
Lisa
going to get
Wilcox.
Lisa.
She was here before.
I just
remember.
talked to her
Yeah.
agent.
yes.
I just talked to her, one of her agents last night. He called me, and he's going to bring her inside this show.
Today?
He's going to bring her in the studio.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
Water for guests. They have water in there. Can we grab them for guests?
Hell yes! Hell, come on, man. This is chaotic radio, man. You think we're going to...
It's quite chaotic in here.
We got ourselves some appetizers for the
Yeah, it's
lobster
going to
bisque.
make everybody...
Did you guys ever watch the show Big Brother?
You know, I never really... A lot of these reality shows and stuff I don't watch. I don't like.
Well,
I
the
don't like.
the reason I mention that is because Fairy Barbie on Barbie Rehab is she won one of the seasons. I forget which
Really?
season
She
she
won
won.
one? Wow.
Rachel Riley is
Rachel
her name.
Riley, she's phenomenal.
she's
What an
hilarious.
actress.
Is
My
that the
God.
one? Okay, who's the goth-looking Barbie? Looking at this...
Monster Barbie.
You got two hot chicks besides yourself.
Tia.
on
That's
each-
Tia.
Tia
Bean.
Yeah.
Tia Bean, she's amazing. She has fangs.
Yep.
Yeah, I blew up the picture and I thought...
you.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. I love you, man.
Thank you,
Thank
Patrick.
you. I adore both of you. We're happy for Mary's return appearance. And
Now, what about these Barbie Jeeps and stuff? Do you soup them up, or do they just go? Do you add extra voltage so you can peel out?
Sure, yeah. We got like double carb. What do you call that?
Did you play with Barbie as a little girl?
Yes, I did.
What was your favorite?
I had not Sapphire Barbie. It was Malibu Barbie was actually.
Oh yeah, I
had
remember the
Corvette,
theme
you
song.
guys. I had the Corvette.
Oh, you had the Corvette.
Yeah.
Remember the
we used to
theme
make our own
song?
little houses in our bunk beds.
Bump, 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 Malibu
I
Barbie.
dated a girl in college who rhapsodized
Yeah.
about to this day
What's
about
new under the sun?
the Malibu Barbie airplane.
I had the
Yes.
airplane too.
Wow.
I did.
Look at
Does
you,
it
Vince.
come with parachutes?
No.
What about her
didn't.
friend Piper? Remember Piper?
The dark-haired one?
Mile High Club in the Barbie plane.
Hey,
Not
I
a
did
chance.
You guys, that's so weird. I did an episode of Sex Sent Me to the ER. It was called Mile High Mishap.
Yeah.
Do you
Mile High
realize-
I was in
Miss.
that.
Do you realize
Yeah.
out of 7 actress friends, 5 of them have been on Sex Sent Me to the ER?
Yeah. We've had.
That was my first part. I mean, like on a regular show.
Wow.
TLC, yeah, it was fun. What a blast.
I wouldn't count on those residuals.
How about
though.
Snap? How about Snap? She made me do it.
Snap, she made me do it.
That's another
I've
one.
auditioned
That
for
was-
some
I
of
did
those.
one of those.
A lot of
Oh, you did?
How
Which
funny,
one?
Jeff.
Oh, it was at DC Stages, and it was
I'm guessing with you it was autoerotic.
it was a bunch. It was a teenage girl killer, that made it. She blamed it on somebody else because she made me do it.
And they said, Jeffrey, since you don't have a SAG card, you've got to die MOS.
MOS. Actually, I was one of the investigators, and I had her in the interrogation room.
Jeff, you
Oh,
let
how
the guy with the
fun.
SAG card. He'll say his dialogue. You just nod your head.
I know.
We've got to look for that. We got to
Yeah, I
watch
gotta watch
Jeff
that.
on
We
that.
gotta-
I have no idea what episode.
Don't
it is.
indulge his sadness.
Don't. You might end up looking. It's longer than all the episodes. There's a lot of episodes.
Look for the blurry out of way in the background one. You'll need one of those macro lenses.
Actually, that day was a disaster because we got paid in cash.
You can't find Jeff on the Hubble on that show.
We got paid in cash, and I went to go deposit my money. I was wearing a suit, and I
love this story.
I went up to the Chase Bank downtown LA, and I reached in my pocket, and my money's not there.
Oh, excuse me.
So I worked for free that day. I lost. They paid me cash, and I lose money.
no.
and
They were
I lost
overcharged.
it.
I'd cry. I would cry.
It sucked. So Katrina was there, and she gave me money so I could get home.
You met Katrina on one of those shows?
No, she was there. Remember, she was living in those apartments downtown.
Oh yeah, with the yeah.
Yeah, remember
No,
that?
no,
And
yeah,
so
no,
I
no,
went.
go ahead.
I went. The bank was right there, and I go, Katrina, I just lost all my money, and I need to get gas and get home. It was a disaster, man.
Thank goodness for
So
Katrina.
So you went to your
Yeah.
AT Katrina.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I told you about Macklemore, right?
No, yeah, something about Tell us. What is-
Trailer trash. They flew me to Seattle and everything.
Wow.
Oh.
He is the nicest guy. His name is Haggerty.
How long were you in Seattle?
Just overnight. I went there and I did that trailer park scene.
For White
They
Walls.
flew you
I
into a
drove that old
SeaTac?
Cadillac.
They flew you into
What?
SeaTac.
Yeah, it's called White Walls.
White Walls, yeah.
And I played trailer trash. I make out with a rapper and everything.
Wow, you make out with Macklemore?
With a rapper, a different rapper.
Your grandfather is rolling in his grave.
Ben Haggerty and Ryan Lewis. They're the nicest guys. I thought they were set guys.
Racist.
Wow.
Because I listen to classic rock.
Your grandpa was choking on his pillowcase in
Oh
his
no!
grave.
I told my parents, if anybody tries to show you that music video, they're the enemy. Don't watch.
Yeah. You've been seen, over 70 million times? in
So
the
how
video?
much time?
Where
Okay,
did
you
you
spent
shoot
a day
it?
to
Where in
fly up
Seattle
there.
did you shoot it?
They flew you
Van
back.
Nuys and Seattle. Yeah.
Yes.
But where in Seattle?
And it's some trailer park, a really gross trailer park.
Oh wow, great location.
Yeah, me and
they
my
had some good
so-called
scouts
boyfriend-
right there, huh?
It had to be really gross because my boyfriend was pretty gross. He had a tooth missing.
Wow. I remember I did a
Dirty wife beater.
I did a God, what their names? OK Computer guys. I did their first 2 American videos. OK Computer, who is that?
I'm not sure. Do you know that?
I've heard OK Computer, yeah, but
Computer.
Oh,
I
come
know
on.
their
What's the
names.
name of that band? Well, anyway.
we'll look it up.
Yeah, OK Computer. Who is that? Redheaded guy, lead guy, British. Creep. The guys
Carrot
that-
Top?
No, Carrot Top's a funny comedian.
Oh, he is, yeah.
OK
Wait, the song
Computer. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the verb, isn't it?
No. I'm talking let's see.
I'm a creep.
What band did OK Computer? The cat logo, the smiling cat's their logo.
OK Computer.
smiling cat.
19, Kid A. I don't
No.
Punch up the album OK Computer.
Yep.
Who did it?
Who is Niall Godrich?
This is really compelling radio, guys.
I know. How come none of us can think of it?
Anyway, yeah, I did a video for them in a trailer park, a real skeevy trailer park, and it was just people were ripping off the crew van stuff and all this other stuff. You'd have old winos running for craft services and grabbing all the donuts. It was a real honest to God trailer park. It was just the scariest.
That's what we did in it,
yeah.
too. It was horrible. We didn't even want to touch anything.
Everything was all legit, no props. It was just the real deal.
Yeah, and then we had that
Wow.
barbecue was in somebody's backyard in Van Nuys.
Wow.
Wow.
It was 10 pool grandmas, a set of twins, 4 hoodlums, and the weathered woman.
Wow.
They can't do trailer trash on the thing.
You know,
So I
because
was weathered woman.
you'd hurt their feelings.
Weathered woman.
You can't say trailer trash.
No.
People will get offended and sue your ass.
I thought it was background, you guys.
There would always be trailer trash calls. And you'd always have the woman being made up with the curlers in her hair and
I'm
the
offended
ratty,
because
bathrobe.
You called me trailer trash, and I am trailer trash, but we can't we don't call ourselves that.
Politically incorrect.
Is it trailer park trash or trailer trash?
Trailer trash.
I just remember they would always be shooting in close to OC. There was this one trailer park. Every time you had a trailer park call, you would always be sent over there. And it was running alongside there was like an LA River trench that ran through the trailer park.
Gross.
It was really skeevy.
This one was so gross, you guys. There was like this black water in the sink.
Ew.
And I told my fake husband, I go, hey, I dare you to stick your hand in there. He goes, why would I do that?
So what about the people that lived there? Or was
This
it abandoned?
guy, he was even creepier than his trailer.
Wait. There was people that actually lived there, and
A guy.
they were getting
One guy lived in there.
one guy lived in the and
In that trailer.
how much did they pay him to rent the place out? It must have been cheap, huh?
Seattle Seahawks in the window. I remember that.
A 6-pack of beer. What?
Oh, was that when you were in Seattle or the one in
Yeah,
Van
in
Nuys?
Seattle.
I will be honest.
So how many locations to
They flew to Seattle. I've
There
never
was
had a
quite
video.
a few in Seattle, but
I mean, to make the whole video, you did several locations.
yeah.
I love Seattle. I haven't
In
been able to
that
get
out of
there.
state.
Loved it. It's like a big giant big bear.
Seattle's a beautiful place.
It
I mean,
is.
my mom's whole side of the family is from there, so I've been going to Seattle every year since I was 6 months old. And every time it's been a good but busy summer. Every time I try to get a trip out there, something comes up, which is a good thing, but a bad thing because
Yeah.
Seattle
I
in the
loved
summer, there's no place like it. You know,
I loved it. Are you kidding?
Right
It was
off
like
the ocean?
70 degrees, middle
Oh,
of
yeah.
summer. I'm like, yes, I can get used to this.
and then people don't get chilly till it's like 40. You know,
That's me.
and if you go in Seattle in December, October through February, it's nothing but slow drizzling rain every
Love it.
single day. It's my favorite. It's like being at Vincent Price's.
I get happy when it rains. Some people
Me
get
too.
all sad, depressed. Well,
I've never understood that. You know, guys like
And you play that garbage song. I'm only happy when it rains.
yeah, I remember Kurt Cobain repainted his brains during the rain rain season. He killed himself in like March, when it was nonstop drizzle in Seattle.
Wow.
That's right.
Welcome to Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah.
Does it snow there too, or what?
Yeah, like by Lake Stevens and places like that, but not in Seattle proper.
yeah, they put me in a hotel that's overlooking a graveyard.
Really?
Wow.
It wasn't the Edgewater? Was it the
No, it
Edgewater?
was a huge graveyard, as far as you can see. Tombstones.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see anything?
A sea of them.
How inspiring for a
I saw
horror
some
film.
spirits. No, just kidding. A
would've-
hand came out.
Did you write a script while you were looking out the window?
That's when you want to talk to the chick from the. That's when you want to talk to the chick from The Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should bring Briley there.
Briley,
Yeah.
Violin would talk about her body
Fighting
again.
help.
I remember 400 interviews, and Violin was the only one to tell me my body haunted house. Ghost take me over. I thought, wow, when the fun ghost is in there, let me know.
We want Juliette Lewis on the show, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
right.
great.
We want her to
Juliette
play
Lewis.
rocker Barbie. We need her to get her attention.
Julia
Get her
Lewis's dad was a famous character actor. You saw him in everything but the Disney movies. He was in all the Clint Eastwood movies with the biker and the monkey.
didn't know that.
Her dad was in the very first TV adaptation of Stephen King.
Wow.
He played the former high school kid who is now a vampire. And he climbs up to the window and gives the guy a heart attack. Mm-hmm. The only guy who knows how to fight the vampires has a heart attack because his former student is a vampire at the window and freaks him out and he falls over.
So her family, they come from money, right? They're millionaires or what?
Well, her dad and her mom were both actresses, but they have other predilections which would cost them money. We discussed off the air.
Oh,
Yeah.
So she doesn't have to work. She just does
she's
it
in
for
a
the.
band now. She's like rocker Barbie.
She was one of the youngest Oscar nominees in film history for Cape
Yeah.
Fear.
Yep.
Wow.
She was amazing in that, wasn't she?
Yeah, boy, oh
Well, she's
boy.
amazing in everything.
Wait,
she's in.
what role was she in that?
Don't you remember Robert De Niro puts his thumb in her mouth? She's the little girl.
She's the
Nick
daughter
Nolte's
in Cape Fear. Yeah.
Cape Fear, yeah.
How old is she, man?
Well, at the time, she was like 13. That was like 90, 91.
Like
Oh, she's pretty young then.
Yeah, she's younger than me.
now.
Yeah.
I think she's about 43.
Yeah, about 10 years younger than me. Yeah.
Born in 73.
You're an actress. Don't give your age on there.
Wow.
Who said that?
Yeah, exactly. That was Bruce for some reason.
TV hubbies.
TV hubbies.
Coming at
and
you
their
backward,
listeners.
hubby.
Hey, she's gorgeous. She's phenomenal.
Julia Lewis is 42 years old, everybody.
She's beautiful.
Uh-oh, the phone's ringing.
Is it Juliet?
Julia.
She said, "Okay, yeah, I want to be on Barbie Rehab."
I think she
poor
would
Jim.
do. I mean, she seems like a personality. I mean, she's pretty
perfect.
outgoing and
And
Who's
Barbie Rehab is
been the
hilarious,
most
you
the
guys.
biggest and most surprising guest on Barbie Rehab?
biggest, most surprising guest?
Yeah.
yeah.
Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore, guys. A-list
Tom
celeb.
Sizemore.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's
A-list.
amazing. Oh my God.
You made him a sandwich.
I made him a sandwich.
Tell us about it.
Tell us about it.
It
Yeah.
was ham, and she's like, "Oh, hey Tom, you want some?" He was trying to make a sandwich, right? And he was like, everybody was talking to him about blah. So he was kind of like,
he was having
trying
trou-
to make a sandwich, and boy, they have the best food on the side of Barbie Rehab, by the way, because of Nan.
And that coffee, yeah. Nan,
And
we love
Nan
her.
is wonderful. That's Vanessa Bednar's mama.
Oh.
Best. Anyway,
Good crafty. Good
I
crafty.
love
yes.
that woman. She doesn't eat though because she's skinny. I mean, no one can do. But anyway.
Hey,
Yeah, so
before
he
she
was-
calls in at 8, by the way, one of you punch up Nessa's IMDb. I want to see what else is
Oh,
on there.
of course.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead,
sir.
Go ahead, Mary. Vanessa.
Oh, so yeah, he was trying to make a sandwich, and I'm like, "Give me that." And I go, "What do you want on it?" He goes, "Everything." So I put I go, "Mustard." He goes, "Yeah, mustard."
Wow.
And then he's like, I made him a sandwich, was taking a bite, and then he had to go to back on the set, and he said, "Watch my sandwich." So I put a plate over, and I wrote, "Tom's sandwich, don't touch." And
yeah.
you guys, he's wonderful. He was like, we're talking about page after page of dialogue, and he
Amazing.
I couldn't believe it. We ran.
So
lines
he was
together.
there just to have a good time.
He's
man.
just wonderful.
Yeah,
He's
we-
professional. He's amazing, you guys. I love him.
I saw him run after the Dr. Drew rehab thing when he was doing like a comic book or an autograph show.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna.
And he went to the ice machine, and I remember he poured like a ton of ice into a hotel towel. And he made it into a burnoose and put it on his hat. And there's shots of him with De Niro
Oh my God.
and Tom Hanks, all these celebrities.
Yes.
And his head, he's scorched. I'm watching the water run down his face and onto these expensive
Oh my God.
glossy 8x10s. And it looks like a religious postcard where like suddenly De Niro is crying. And then the ice burning off his head is going all over. It's pulling
Oh
up
my
on his
God, you
expensive 8x10s. That was amazing.
Yeah.
He's so great. I
So
love
yeah,
him.
like Mary said, we were running lines with Tom, and we just started talking after we finished running lines. I said, Tom, you know, nobody's ever going to believe that Mary and I were sitting here talking with you, that you're on set with us. He says, hey, bring me that phone. Let's take some selfies.
We
so
took all
that's what
kinds-
we did.
he's so
I'm looking
great.
at him right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that like, wow, you got that pink tent and
Yeah.
Yep.
I see crafty stuff behind it.
See, Kraft.
And he just smiling, having a great time.
Guy's
I mean-
amazing.
I mean,
What a professional, you guys. Honestly.
So he was good. He
So,
was
I
so
wanted to
how
hug
many
him.
days was he there? Was it just one day, or what? Or how many was he there several times?
We
Yes.
were there, I was there one day with him, but I don't know how often. He's in a lot of episodes, so he's there a lot.
Yeah, he was there several times because we did
We did a few scenes
with him.
Yeah. He's
interesting.
amazing.
Yeah, but he was
amazing,
good.
guys.
You guys liked him.
Oh, yeah,
Loved
he's-
him
Look at that!
so
Isn't that
much.
a great picture of him and Mary?
That's
Mary
a cute
and Tom.
picture of you
That's
guys
me and
with
Tom.
him. No, and you shoot Barbie Rehab in Cucamonga, or do you shoot it?
It's in Burbank.
Burbank.
Wow.
I know, dude.
What studios do you guys use?
Barbie Rehab Studio.
It's a big set.
It's Iron Ore Productions. Derek A. Orr. It's his production.
Derek
He's
S.
Derek S.
S.
Where did I
Orr.
get the A from? We love
S is
Derek.
in Sam.
Derek's a
So the
comedic
same people who do the
genius.
zombie
Yeah?
show.
Yes, and writer Derek S. Orr from Iron Ore Productions.
Iron Ore Productions.
Amazing,
Yes.
you guys.
Interesting.
Comedic genius. Both of them are. Vanessa too. It's like
Have you done their
the
zombie show
talent.
yet?
Huh?
Have you done Orr's zombie show yet?
I have not.
No.
But I know Vanessa Bednar's done a lot of zombie
Yeah,
stuff.
she does zombies on Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow.
And Derek, he's Cop Ken on
Derek
the show.
is Cop Ken on the show.
Barbie Rehab.
Jimmy Kimmel's got a lot of. He's got some other people we know. Dominic Pace was doing background stuff, holding like signs and shit, walking behind. You know when they do those comic things, and you
Really?
get people when they're doing their little comedy stuff, and the people are like, you know,
The background people.
yeah, holding signs up and walking across.
Picketers.
Doing stuff with crazy shit.
I'm just looking over Vanessa's credits as well as yours, you guys. You know what I mean? Wow.
Yeah, Vanessa's got at
Vanessa's
least 45.
She had her own show
Actress
too, being
credits.
Vanessa on YouTube.
Vanessa was
Barbie
in
Rehab.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love the
Yes,
Yes,
she
she
was.
was. Yes.
She's amazing, you guys. I can't believe I'm on the same set with these people.
Wait, okay, I gotta look her up.
I met Vanessa at TCD Studios in Los Angeles. TCD Studios is owned by Michael Valentino.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's where
great.
I met Vanessa Bednar, and we were working together on a scene in
What's her last name?
Bednar.
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 I went to school with a girl named Bednar.
Really?
Yeah, the restraining order.
Vanessa's beautiful.
The restraining order against Jeff is still in effect.
What, Patrick? Restraining order?
Here she is.
She said, if I
Isn't
see you
Vanessa
again.
gorgeous? She's gorgeous, I tell you.
She is.
And
Oh,
Derek,
that's her.
And Derek is
I've seen
handsome.
those
Check
pictures
out
of
Derek.
hers.
S.O. He's a very handsome devil. He's like a young Alec Baldwin.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. Can't let it
They're
go.
amazing, you guys. Yeah.
Can't let it go. It was funny, too. Can't let it go.
Yeah.
So who's that other girl? She's dressed in this green dress, green and blue.
That's which Barbie is that?
And there's Sonia, Holiday Barbie.
Holiday Barbie,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's the Christmas.
The
12 Days
green
of
and
Crapness.
blue, that must be Vanessa's Dr.
this-
Midge.
Dr. Midge. That's Vanessa, Dr. Midge.
Yeah. She plays
That's Vanessa
Vanessa
Bednar.
Bednar plays Dr. Midge. She plays Teresa, and she plays Strawberry Shortcake. Those are her three characters.
Strawberry shortcake.
We got all kinds of dolls.
Now, have you heard from the Barbie company? Have they messed with you guys at all? Or
That's that we have to ask Vanessa
Ask
that.
Vanessa.
You know why I don't
Yeah.
like strawberry shortcake? I was in the 99-cent store, and some little girl goes, "You look like the pie man from Strawberry Shortcake." Because she saw my mustache. I'm going like,
did she say you resemble a Victorian?
Walk into this,
prince?"
kid. Step into that.
Yeah. And that was the last time Jeff was allowed at the 99-cent store.
That was the last time. I
Living
get my
the
trash
dream.
bags from there.
Little girl, show us in the doll where Jeff Sargent.
wow, she's something else. Look at those eyes.
She's gorgeous.
I happen to think Mary's
She looks
delightful,
like a
and
movie
as
star.
is Bruce.
Repeat that, please.
Well, he's raving up the girl on the internet, so I wanted to make sure our guests in studio felt more welcome than the one he's
Yeah,
drooling
okay.
over.
Thank you,
Let's-
Patrick.
You're quite
Let's
welcome,
get
everyone.
Thank you.
let's get
Patrick.
back to the super hot Mary
I haven't
Dallas.
called
I
that
like
in 20
that.
years, but thank you.
That's when he's trying to do his fancy voice, but it comes off as creepy stalker voice.
Mary
He comes off
Dallas.
as Michael Saracen panting after
Mary
Morgan.
Dallas.
Yes.
He comes off as Michael Saracen panting over Morgan Fairchild in the seduction.
I want Mary Dallas
met
to
her
make me
too,
a
Morgan
sandwich.
Fairchild.
She looks
Poof,
amazing.
you're a
I want a
doesn't she?
BLT, baby.
I
got it,
thought
kid.
from
I
about
want my cheese
20
melted avocado.
From about
Come to
20,
Hickory Ranch.
I will.
from about 20 feet away, I thought she was. I can't her name. Who's the girl you couldn't get away from in the early 90s, late 90s? She was best friends with like Lionel Richie's
Pat's
daughter.
never had this trouble
I know.
today with names.
Paris Hilton.
Hilton. Okay.
So 20 feet away, I thought Morgan Fairchild was Paris Hilton. No, she looks amazing. And then I go, oh,
Beautiful.
Yeah, I met her a couple years ago, I think.
she's at
Morgan
SAG. I
Fairchild.
saw her in the. I shared an elevator with her at SAG, and she looks really good.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Does.
And exactly, you know, the story about her. Supposedly, an effects guy told me she was having it done before she needed it. That was her secret. She was doing it when she was like in her 20s and 30s.
Smart move.
Yeah, so nobody,
Ahead of her
you know,
time.
and she's in one of the great Stephen King ripoffs, not written by Stephen King. She did what was it called? God, it was the first. Hold on, hang on. And Carrie Goes to College, basically. Oh, what's it called? Hold on, I'm having a brain fart. But I was up all night writing an
He
article.
can't remember shit, did he?
Yeah. I
like
was on
turned 50.
deadline. I was on deadline, so all I can remember is this crap Star Trek article I had to write all night. And anyway, there was a ripoff in Carrie. And she played the chief tormentor. Kay Lenz. What was that thing called? Morgan Brittany, Kay Lenz, Shelley Winters is the crazy sorority mother. And when they remade the movie, Morgan played the mother, which I thought was kind of cool. You know what I mean?
The mother, that was a meaty role.
Yeah,
She's
the mother,
crazier than-
you know, all the
Crazier
loopy.
than a loon.
Sure. Yeah.
Crazy on toast with a side of psycho.
Wow. So how long were you in Palm Springs for?
40 years, you guys.
Your family was in there for 40
40-year
years.
lease.
Wow.
Long.
And two restaurants
We have one now.
at the same time.
but we
Were
had
there
two.
two at
Yeah.
one time?
Yeah.
Both fantastic.
I waited on Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton in 1980.
Wow, that is so
He
cool.
didn't talk. She ordered for him.
Really? So like a ventriloquist dummy. She made she made a movie in Upland. I remember she made a movie in Upland, and she got in her stretch limo, and her
was nice.
driver hit some old lady who was crossing the street, and Elizabeth Taylor, instead of stopping, they knocked this lady down in the crosswalk. Her driver did. And Elizabeth Taylor did like a little wave like the Pope as the limo drove on
Oh my
to get her back to the
God.
Red Lion Inn. You know?
That's horrible and brutal.
Yeah, I thought it was a welcome to show business. You
At
know?
least you didn't say, pardon me.
had no interest in apologizing to the little people
That's
with their
terrible.
And the old lady they hit broke her leg.
Oh,
That's
that's terrible.
awful.
But Elizabeth Taylor doesn't need to sit there for a police report.
Yeah,
was
she
so
could just
nice
go.
at the
You're
restaurant.
Elizabeth Taylor. Go.
She probably was shocked they didn't walk up and shoot the old lady in the head.
Yeah, put her out of her misery.
Right.
We've got a show to do.
Steven Tyler was pretty cool. He came in. I couldn't believe it was him. I walked over and there he was. I go, Steven, thank you for coming to our restaurant. He goes, dude, your food's awesome. Oh my God, I love it. I go, you have easy eggs, hash browns, and toast. You can't mess that up.
Yeah,
But he was really nice, you guys. He had his arm around me. I actually almost knocked him into the planter because we have this big mural on the wall.
Yeah.
It's all these crazy animals with big eyes. And he goes, those animals look like they're on drugs. And I should know.
I should know.
That's what he said. And I go, like that, and he almost fell in the planter. He's just a little dude, you guys.
Wow, he was that tiny.
Yeah.
He's just a
I
little
was
skinny
fatter
guy,
than him
huh?
then. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a photo with them.
Yeah, I
Or
do.
a
Did
few.
you really? Well, we have to see it now.
I'll show you after.
Okay.
You want to see it now?
Sure, please.
What the heck?
What the hell?
And then hold it up in our cameras for our studio audience.
For our studio edification.
I think it's on your IMDb
No, it's here
page too.
Yeah, I
Is
got
it?
it all here.
All right, Bruce, punch up your IMDb. I want to see what you got on there.
Yes.
Well, I could punch it right here and make it so you could see it.
Well, that way.
But
I
Pat
lost my
never.
phone.
He spent. I went with him. He spent $500 on a pair of glasses, and he doesn't even wear them.
Readers, I use them when editing.
Raider, no, you need them for everything.
Oh, there you go.
Diane Ladd, you guys.
Oh wow.
Wow. Hey, are you related to
We
you know
text
who?
each other.
Heather?
Had the Locklear?
I don't.
Only
Isn't she
in Hollywood.
adorable?
Oh.
I
You
love
know
it.
what?
Oh, there's a mural. Go to the next picture.
I like the girl on the left, man.
That's me.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's the one I like.
Just
Let me
look at
see
since
that,
the baby
Mary.
came.
That's supposed to be a
See,
seductive
look, you
voice,
guys.
but makes him sound
That's
like
the
a...
mural. That's that sign I was telling you.
That's
about
the
wall.
mural. Man, look at the big eyes, man. These people look like
Look
they're
at
on
those
drugs,
animals,
man.
and I should know.
Wow.
rather
Steven
hear-
Tyler is so sweet.
Oh.
Who painted that mural?
His name is Dwight Halverson. He actually was a homeless guy, and we used to give him free food. And that wall used to be blank, like blue. And one day he goes, you know what? Let me repay you. Let me paint a mural. Now he's famous. He travels all over the world. Does
That's
murals.
great. You guys gave him his life back, man. You got it started.
great guy.
That was a great thing you guys did. That's
Thank you.
that's a very cool thing to do, man.
Thank you.
There's the cottages where we had with John Redcorn when we had
Yes.
Big Benedict. They help
have
people. They help like
Very
addicts
cool,
and
thank
homeless
you.
people. They help serve and clean up, wash
I was
dishes, and
looking at
help
the remix of
Yeah.
Rudolph.
people
I
get their
remember
life back
that.
together.
Yeah, that's
you
what
know?
he
that
did
was
for
hilarious.
us. Let me show you Steven. It's right after this, I think.
She's pulling up Steven Tyler's photo right now. Hold on, everybody. Don't mind the dead silence of the Jeff and
That's how
Janki
the-
show here at
That's how the
Kaotic
pros
Radio.
do it. Lots of dead silence.
Kardashian potato.
Oh my God! Look at that potato! Look at that! Look at the butt cheeks on that
Butt
potato!
cheeks on that potato.
Look at that potato!
What a
Bud boy! Oh man!
Here's Steven. Come on.
Okay, I'm supposed to look him up.
Oh, here
right?
he is.
Right.
Okay.
I just did it. Stuff is pretty good. 8 credits.
Well, let's get it. Wow, this guy licked his plate clean.
He loved his food, he said.
Oh, he loved his
Tyler.
food.
It was his idea to take the picture because I reverse psychologied him into it.
So
You see?
Patrick owes me Eggs Benedict. He owes me from a few years ago.
Yeah, he slept over, and I guess I promised him wildly. I'm sure there was drinking involved. I wildly promised him Eggs Benedict, which I've never made in my life.
We fell asleep.
I made it.
We had an all-nighter thing at a convention. We fell asleep on the floor, and he's I'm going to make you breakfast in the morning. Yeah, right, Pat. Yeah, man. And then I kicked him. I go, breakfast, eggs, man. And I go, and I kicked him, and he goes, Eggs Benedict. And I've given him shit. Every time I hear Eggs Benedict, I just crack my up. Because this guy ain't going to make Eggs Benedict.
I make great spaghetti. I make great
spaghetti.
waffles. But I've never, ever made Eggs Benedict, so I don't know why.
And he never will.
I'll make it for you guys sometime.
So we need to come into the restaurant, and you need to buy me
You
Eggs
need to give me a
Benedict.
crash course in
That's
making
right.
Eggs Benedict.
You got it, kid.
All right, thank you, lovely one.
Did you see it?
Yeah, please, let's see. Wow.
Steven.
It's a cute picture of you, too.
Thank
you know?
you. That was about 170 pounds right there.
Oh, wow. Boy, he's
That's why I'm
licking
wearing
it.
the big shirt.
Steven Tyler. Oh, well, that's the secret of where the magic happens.
Yeah,
He
thanks for not
literally-
wearing that heavy sweater you wore last time, even though I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
boo.
But yeah.
Terrible. Trying to cover the fat, you know?
This
Oh,
is
you're,
more
but
fun
no,
for
it
them.
was good.
Now I don't
It
have to
was
worry
good
about it.
fat. It was full figure fat. It was
Thank
really
That's
good.
adorable. Here we go.
Now
Look
she-
at
You guys
that.
are so good to me since
Lean.
the baby came.
Oh, speaking of that, oh my God, it's time to plug our sponsors.
Holy cow, Jeff. Where do you go at dusk when you feel like having a craft beer and a cigar?
I go to the Pacific Wine Merchant and Cigar Exchange in downtown Upland, right there at the Metrolink station.
Where you can get bombed watching the sunset on the blue tile roof of the IHOP down the street.
I like the nice variety of cigars in the largest humidor, the most finest humidor of cigars in the Inland Empire.
The Upland Wine Merchant and Cigar Exchange.
Yes, and it's got wines from all over California and all over the world, basically.
And on the weekend, you can hear live bands, the sultry stylings of Erica Loggy.
Yes. And we've got other great bands. We've had a local band, Groove Session, play there quite a few
Groove
times.
Session does enjoy playing there.
Yes.
You can talk to occasional guests like Tom Minnesota. And who's our friend from Taking a Pelham 123? Bill Cobbs.
Bill Cobbs.
Bill Cobbs and I've told this story in the air before. I had an AT&T commercial running last year, and I was really proud of my residuals from it. And I walk in, and I slap it down, and I wait for the clerk to, oh, wow, look at the size of the residuals. Instead, she goes, you know, any other day this would be impressive. She goes, Bill Cobbs was here. And I go, what check did he bring in? Was it residuals for Night at the Museum? She goes, Night at the Museum. And I go, depress me. And she goes, he made about 80 times what this is for. So it bummed me out, but it was always great to travel in the wake of Mr. Bill Cobbs.
And that is Pacific Wine Merchant and Cigar Exchange, a proud sponsor of the Jeff and Janki Show.
Yay! Oh,
Tell Benny and Greg that Jeff and Janki sent you.
Yeah, tell them we sent you.
And the beautiful, beautiful Upland Wine Merchant and Cigar Exchange.
So I'm going to start live streaming on Facebook here. Let's get
Yeah,
to...
we'll put the money shot. Get these two on camera.
Okay, let me see. Where's my... okay, where is it? Okay. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da-ba-ba.
We want people to listen. Stop playing that moronic
What's on
gibberish.
your mind? Okay.
a headphone is on my mind.
Here.
Hold on. Jeff is signing up for these beautiful Russian girls with no friends keep sending him bikini shots and he keeps friending
Connect
them.
to you right now.
I'm Olga, and I'm
Olga.
from Russia.
This poor sad girl
I'm
is
not getting any connection right now. What the hell?
very Boris and Natasha. Thank you.
Anytime, honey.
Well, I guess I'll...
Yes.
It's taking a minute or two. Let's continue on with our program. And as soon as I get some, I'm getting no bars of reception for some reason. Well, I just turned the phone on because it was charging.
So what are you watching on Netflix or Amazon Prime? What are you guys into?
Well, Hulu, Handmaid's Tale.
Oh,
That's brutal, isn't it?
I had to read it in college, so I haven't bothered the show because
Oh my God, it's so good.
that book was murder.
So good, you guys.
Margaret, what's her face? I thought was boring. I mean, We read Oh Pioneers. It was a women lit. It was the last thing I needed before I graduated. Margaret, what's her name? She's a real buzzkill. The book was depressing.
The movie is brutal. I mean, not the movie, the show. I guess. But you guys, it's just...
It's Peggy from Mad Men.
It's
I'd feel
intense.
I'd feel worse about her plight if it was Joan from Mad Men.
It's
Peggy, I just can't get it up for.
I can't stop
Poor
watching.
Peggy. I sympathize with your plight, but come on.
How long has that been on now?
Handmaid's Tale? About 30 years?
3 seasons, I think.
I think it's in the third season.
It's in the 3rd season, and it's just, oh my God. Alexis Bledel, Rory from Gilmore Girls.
Yep.
Ooh.
She's amazing. in
I
it,
like
guys.
those Gilmore Girls.
Yes,
All I know is that
love the Gilmore Girls.
Yvonne Strahovski is on the show, and I know I've interviewed her twice. She smells great.
She's beautiful.
She smells like
They show her ass.
the wind of the shore. I thought this was a women's show, but I might have to sample this. Wow. So Yvonne Strahovski's buttocks?
Yep.
As a Polish American, I have to support my own. Although she's Australian Polish, not American Polish.
Yeah,
So-
she doesn't have an accent at all. She's an amazing actress. My God, so good. The acting is just off the charts. Kind of like Barbie Rehab.
Wow, there we
Yes,
go.
off the charts, ladies
I
and gentlemen.
see what you did there, Mary Dallas.
See
You
what I
made-
did?
You're a typical actress. It has to be around. Enough about me. What do you think of me? needy American actress.
So Patrick asked on Netflix. I just finished watching The Sinner with Jessica Biel.
How was
good.
that?
It was so many twists and turns. And
The Sinner.
just-
Tell me about it. What's the log line?
It's
She's this really quiet wife with a child and a husband.
right.
All of a sudden, she just gets up from her lounge chair on the beach and goes over and starts stabbing this guy.
Yeah,
And then it goes
She
from
kills
there.
a guy and she don't know why. That's the log
Really?
line.
And that's
That's
where
a
it
hell of a
starts.
hook.
Hell
Oh
of a
God!
hook.
Then she's got to figure out. Does she hide it? Does
Brutal.
anybody
It looks
find
so
out?
real.
I mean,
They did.
Everybody
they
on the
did
beach.
Find out.
She
Yeah.
got arrested immediately.
she got. Oh, there was witnesses.
called The
But,
Sinner.
Guys, it's crazy.
but she didn't end up going to prison. I don't think.
I don't
or-
know. I forget what happened after that.
Or she did.
was brutal.
She got off because of what happened to her. It goes into that
Yeah.
deeper.
I'm sure that helps the Slav on the beach who got stabbed to
Yeah.
death.
They go into what drew her to that point.
Right.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And it's pretty twisted.
Crazy.
Let me tell you.
It's crazy.
Your worst imagination.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you watched that. What else are you watching?
I'm kind of into these like died and came back movies. I watch Glitch. OA.
What's Glitch about?
Yeah. Good title.
Glitch is about these group of people died and then they come back to life, but they're coming out of
A lot
the
of that going
graveyard,
on.
coming up out of the
Really?
graves, and they can only
They're
go
all dirty
within
and
a
naked.
certain range of the area.
Oh, so they got boundaries.
They have boundaries, yeah,
And they're dirty and naked. That's it.
Dirty
and
and
naked.
naked with boundaries.
and they're like 150 years old. Some of them.
You're not talking me into the show. If they look like Yvonne Strahovski, I'd have to give it a look. But
a lot of
dirty
that.
old naked bums in a cemetery, yeah, that sounds
no,
great.
they're not. No, well, some of them are like 19, 21,
All age groups
all age groups.
from from 20 to 90, right? 102.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he's going to be calling in pretty soon.
I've been in a Bruce Lee camp.
Oh, someone's calling
Oh,
in
here
right
we go.
now.
Hey, who is it?
It might be
Derek?
the enchanting Vanessa.
Where's my? Oh,
Fuck.
hello, hello.
Somebody just dropped the F-bomb. Who are you, casual professional?
Welcome.
You just threw the F-bomb on the air, sir. How dare you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the Jeff and Janki show with our guest, Mary Dallas and Bruce.
Who's this?
Hey, it's Derek Orr. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, the great Derek Orr.
Hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, Derek, so you produce Barbie Rehab, and you have a zombie show coming up as well.
Yeah, there's a couple things in production, that's for sure.
Now, when do you shoot the zombie thing, and when does that hit the airwaves?
We're doing some rewrites and some reshoots on it, but it should be out probably in the next couple of months. We're trying to get it right.
Who's doing the makeup effects on it?
Who's doing the special effects, you said?
Yeah, makeup effects.
Most of it is a couple of makeup girls that we use on the fly. We just really need it for the zombies, and then the blood work and the stunts. I coordinate all that.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
The guy's amazing. He wears a lot of hats.
And what attracted you to Barbie Rehab?
I know what attracted me to Barbie Rehab.
Beware, Mary and Bruce are hanging on every word.
Well,
We love him.
the reality of the situation was Vanessa and I had met in acting class, and she needed somebody for a cop role on another quick project she was doing, so she asked me to come do a cameo, and I said, yeah, sure. And then afterwards, she started sending me what she had completed for the early episode of Barbie Rehab, and I was like, okay, cool. And then she's like, can you give me your opinion, like production-wise, director-wise, actor-wise? And I was like, nah, I'll keep it to myself. And she said, no. I said, well, can you take constructive criticism, because I'm pretty damn blunt, So anyway, long story short, we hashed it out about what I thought needed to change in order for it to really grow, and then we came to an agreement, and then we spent about 6 months fighting like cats and dogs. But we finally got on the same page, and I gave a little, took a little. She gave me my lumps. She took her lumps, and we took something that she created, and we kind of transformed it into something better and more watchable. And then I learned how to edit, and I took over editing, and then I took over directing, and she and I wrote the rest of the story. And next thing you know, it was just the monster that it is.
Wow! Congratulations.
Well, I don't know about that, but I look forward to getting some sleep at some point.
Yeah.
Who do you want to fire first, Mary or Bruce?
Hey!
Careful how you answer.
I'm joking.
No.
It's interesting because they're so much like their characters, and that's like the beauty in it is like they're a bit crazy and wacky.
I know. That's
noticed.
It's an actor's dream, really, that gig
is.
for them.
Yes.
Vanessa and I have to do multiple characters and do all these things on set, and we try and have a great time and keep the set light and fun, which I think we do a pretty good job of.
Always.
But we're working. These guys show up and they're just playing, which is, like I said, an actor's dream. They get to come in, know their lines, and then just have fun.
Yes, it's awesome.
That's
We love
great.
every minute of it.
No. Do I hear a little bit of Midwestern in your voice? Are you from the Midwest?
Oh yeah, don't piss me off.
Are you Detroit? Or, I'm guessing Detroit or Ohio.
Chicago.
Wow.
Whoa.
The
back home,
compromise
back
in the
home.
middle. Yeah.
back home in Chicago.
Wow.
It's funny. It's funny because I grew up right on the Indiana-Illinois border, and we grew up with the Bulls and the Blackhawks, and I didn't even know that Indiana had a professional team until I was a teenager.
That's funny.
Wow.
And of course, I grew up in the Jordan Mecca, so that was a treat. But it's funny because everybody thinks I'm from California when I'm in Chicago, and then they hear my accent here, and they're like, "Oh no, you're a Chicago boy."
You sound like a Chicago Pole. Every Chicago Pole I've met talks in that wonderful clip fashion.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long have you been in California?
I've been out here about 16 years, but
And-
I just got into the industry a few years ago.
Now, did you do any industry in Chicago or not to get out here?
I don't really talk about my job, but I'm in law enforcement,
Wow.
and I started basically interning with the federal government back in college back in Indiana, and then it just parlayed into training and a couple different agencies, and it's just that's my job. This is my hobby.
Wow. All right, let me ask you this, Mr. Chicago, since we just talked about this. Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, which Chicago movie theater, which Chicago theatrical company, which theater are Bruce Wayne's parents murdered in the back alley of?
Oh man, I'm not that big into that. I should know it because I'm sure it's flashing in my brain, but I cannot remember.
And did you ever go to the Natural History Museum and see the ghost of the Ghost in the Darkness of those two lions?
No, I didn't.
Oh, shame on you. Next time we go home, you have to do that. That's the coolest
Hey,
thing.
man. It wasn't until I was 30 years old that I finally got up to the top of the Sears Tower.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm glad you resisted the urge to jump.
Thank God.
it's one of those things, you know, like we live in California and the beach is everywhere. All these things to do, and we're the last ones to do it.
This
Yeah,
is true.
yeah.
This is true.
So true.
Right.
I mean, everybody's going back to Universal Harry Potter Land for the 5th time when the friggin' ocean is free.
Yeah.
That lump of green stuff with all the cool animals in it, it's right over there, and nobody ever goes.
Well, it sounds like you guys are having a good time in the studio. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it in.
Oh,
Well,
we
as
wish you were
well.
here, Derek. We wish.
Mary and Bruce raved you up, so we wanted to actually confirm what they were saying about you, and you're living up to the hype so far. No, as
Well,
a
you know,
producer-
I'm not so bad for an asshole. You know?
they're both nodding vigorously. No, joking.
Awesomest asshole I've ever met.
Oh,
I would
guy's
love to
so
have you for a
talented.
parole officer.
Yeah, he's great.
no. What made you do a zombie show? I'm kind of curious. And plug that what's it called again?
Z Fever.
Z Fever.
It's called. It was kind of a passion project for a student at the time that I met. I use him as a DP now. He's coming along wonderfully. He's got a nice bit of talent, and he's learned quite a bit in film school. But he's grown significantly on set,
Wow.
and I've grown significantly as an actor and as a director working with him.
Yes, you have, man. I mean,
It's interesting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
No,
I
go-
mean,
go-
just
go
for the
for it.
time that you've put in, I mean, it seems like you've been doing this for,
16 years, you hit the ground
for
running. That's
decades.
impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, nobody's going to give you anything.
That's right.
Wow.
Nobody's going to give you anything, and you're not going to learn anything by sitting on your ass and putting in for, student films or whatever. You got to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You got to get out there, create content, and the character that I play on Barbie Rehab is, it's an alter ego of me. It's my dark side and my humorous side versus a serious side, and it plays well because you need a bad guy.
Wow. And so is that your bad cop voice that you do on the show?
It comes out quite a bit, I would say. Yeah.
Wow.
You guys got to see him in action. It's fantastic.
And
the cool thing about-
who do you play in Z Fever?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who do you play in Z Fever?
I actually play a serious detective. Yeah, he's kind of a hard ass. I have to pretend not to be so mean half the time, but it's an interesting story. Hopefully, it comes to fruition. It's always hard, like you asked, with special effects and post and editing. So it's going to take a little while to get that one done, but it'll be worth the wait.
No, are you shooting that here?
Yeah, we shoot that in L.A. We shot a little bit out in the deserts, and then we shot some in my apartment complex and in my old apartment complex. Then we had my old acting school allowed us to use this loft space where we did this really violent interrogation scene.
What acting school did you go to?
I actually found Ruskin School of Acting in Santa Monica.
Oh, the Ruskin School. Pat and I have been to the Ruskin Theater. We've
We
seen a
have.
few plays there with our.
The Ruskin
Oh,
Theater is
man.
amazing. We saw the producer of Jaws 3D do a
nice.
musical there.
Have
on
you guys
stage?
been to the cafe plays there on? I think it's the third Sunday of the month they do them.
I did one there like 3 years ago. I forgot the play, but I did attend one play there. An actress friend wanted me to see her in it.
Well, not the plays themselves, but they have these cafe plays, which is basically like they do 5 short scenes.
Yes,
Usually
yes.
Two people. So you've seen it, right? It's like walking a tightrope without any net, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good way to describe it. Yeah.
That's really exciting, actually.
I mean, I remember when I was probably a year into the program. It's a 2-year Meisner program, and I'm glad I took it. It was very interesting and taught me quite a bit. I've changed to another process and evolved quite a bit, which is common for a lot of actors. But they, I remember in the first year I was getting ready to transition to the second year, and I asked my teacher at the time, "Hey, I really want to get in a cafe place," and he's like, "Oh no, man, don't do that." He's like, you don't want to set yourself up for failure, and you got to get a little more experience. I was like, "F that, man." I'm like, let's do this. Balls to the wall.
Wow. Wow. And who is your most famous instructor?
John Ruskin, actually. He's one of these actors. He's the one that started the theater with another small group, and unfortunately, I didn't get to learn under him as much as some other students because he had a health condition, an eye issue, like his retina separated at some point. So we had another instructor come in and take over. But I had enough experience with him to know that, what they're doing over there is a great program.
Wow.
And their second year teacher, Mike Myers, yeah, it's the same name as the famous one. Mike or Mikey Myers. He teaches their second year class there, and he's phenomenal.
Wow. And who was your most famous classmate?
Ooh, let's see. You know, fame's an interesting thing.
As AJ Benza said.
You know, I'll give her a bone. Vanessa Bednar.
Oh,
Yes. Vanessa.
I see what you did there. And by the way, what is Z Fever's pitch? How is it different from Walking Dead or Z Nation?
Well, you know, that's funny because we actually reference it at some point in the script. And later on, you'll see that when there's a shooting. But, you know, it's just a different take. It's a slightly different take on how the outbreak happens and how it's handled, basically. We need to get a little more story into it so that that's the beauty in, like, Walking Dead. Like, their character development, which drives a lot of people crazy when it's happening during the season.
Right.
Things really slow down, and they focus on Michonne and her backstory and whatnot. But, you know, it's instrumental to the story, which a lot of viewers don't realize that they're feeding them at the time. They get frustrated because things slow down or whatever. But overall, it gets you committed to the story and the character, and that's why people are hooked. Like I don't like the season that just ended because it's more commercials than it is show.
Yeah, there's a lot of air on that, and then major stuff always happens off camera. Oh, Carl got bit, but we didn't need to show you that. We showed what everybody else had for lunch, but the third build guy on the show getting bit on the stomach wasn't worth showing you.
Right. I mean, but you're committed. You know, at this point you're committed. You know, but I mean,
emotionally invested.
And even The Handmaid's Tale, which is my favorite show right now.
Mary was
we were just talking about that before you called.
It's awesome.
It is.
You know, it tells you when there's a part of piece of society. There's some women that I've talked to that won't even watch it because they know what the premises are, and they're so afraid that the world is heading in that direction. I mean, that's art
Scary
right there.
Stuff. Yep, scary stuff.
They've been saying that for years, though. I remember reading that book in the 90s and thinking, no woman is going to walk around in a wimple. You know?
Wearing those bonnet things.
Yeah. I saw cosplayers that... it was hilarious. Amongst all the Batwoman and Batgirl and Catwoman's last year, there was like 3 girls who were going around as handmaidens last year at Comic-Con, which that was kind of hilarious.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
But the scene...
Did that first season kick you in the face or what?
God, you're not kidding. I was like, what?
I couldn't believe it.
Absolutely.
I was chomping at the bit to get to season 2, and then it came out, and of course, you couldn't, they were smart. They didn't let you binge watch it. They fed you a couple episodes and then one a week.
Yep. And I couldn't
say that's all you get.
Like any pusher says, the first taste is free.
Did you see the last one, Derek, where the breastfeeding situation?
You know what? I started watching it last night, but I was training all day yesterday in the 96-degree heat.
Oh, forget it.
So I fell asleep like 3 times.
Don't blame you. Yeah, wait till you see it.
I'm gonna try and watch it this weekend because it is the season finale, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Give Luke Cage a look. Luke Cage is a great show on Netflix.
What's that?
What's it called?
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, Power Man.
Oh, I haven't checked that one out yet.
It's a Marvel show. There's something so crazy in the first episode. You'll watch the next 10. It's a gimme. The halfway through the first halfway through the pilot episode, something so shocking happens. I guarantee you'll watch the next 10.
Yes.
It's something so violent and crazy you can't turn it off.
Interesting.
We've got to check it out.
Yeah, you asked about horror movies. I did a pilot. We did part of a script for this project called Kami, Kami.
Yes.
There's actually a really cool trailer teaser clip on my IMDb page, and the script is great. I can't wait till the writer and director finishes the project. He put it on hold because we started working on something else, and he just didn't feel like it was the right time for a horror piece.
Really?
Yeah, which I didn't agree with, but hey, it's his choice, and I know it'll get done eventually. So we kind of put it on hold. But man, we shot a nice, cool, fun, super exciting teaser in probably like 3-4 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And it turned out great. You watch the teaser, you're going to want to watch the movie because I watch it, and I've had it for 2 years, and I still watch it and go, man, that's a cool character. I can't wait to get back into that guy.
Who's the biggest name in the trailer?
That's hard to say.
Did you grab any genre names? PJ Souls or you know what I mean?
No. It's not to that point. I mean, the guy, he's a director from Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And I met him by accident. I actually had an audition. And I went into this mansion in the Hollywood Hills. And I walk in, and there's all these gold records on the wall and these guitars, signed and da-da-da-da. Anyway, I'm standing there, and I finally get bored. I almost leave because I'm, like, early, and I'm there a half hour, and nobody's coming out of the room. And it's cold in this basement, so I start doing jumping jacks to stay warm. Finally, the director and his assistant come out, and I sit in the room with them, and I just clicked with this guy right off, He was like, hey, I'm going to put you on camera. He's like, I just want you to do some improv with this. You got the sides, but I want to play with this, and, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it turns out it's in Ralph Reicherman from Scorpions, the band.
Yeah.
It's in his house.
Wow.
Right? It's in his
How cool
basement.
is that?
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, I'm not a big rock and roll guy, but I know who they are, and man, that was a cool thing to be part of,
Wow. Go on.
And he's got a
Scorpions.
small part in it. He got a little cameo in it. So it was interesting meeting him. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that's another project that comes to fruition soon because I think horror is definitely an easy way to go,
Well, horror is again, it's one of those. It's one of the big debut projects because everyone wants to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's always a market for it.
Speaking of horror, did you see Mary Dallas in that commercial spot?
Oh,
Wow, yeah.
That was all epic. I can't. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Derek.
Wow.
Swimming. I'm going to be swimming in that one.
Mary, you got to tell me how you got the inspiration to rag on that kid like that.
Yeah.
I thought of my mom. She's not here.
Oh, damn.
It's natural, those blasted kids, I swear.
My mom used to yell at us in Greek.
Wow. Which is weird because she
Sounds
was
worse in
Italian. Wow, your mom would yell at you in Greek. Interesting.
Vanessa's trying to call us right now, but we could only, for some reason, our switchboard, we can only do one call at a time.
Well, you know what?
I would like to merge them too, but
She's pretty good at promoting, so you tell me when you want to get rid of me, and we'll let her come in, and she'll fill in all the gaps.
I feel bad. I don't want to get rid of you yet, though, Derek. You're interesting.
Yeah, we love Derek.
Yeah, he's not bad for an asshole.
neither is
Nicest asshole
Pat.
I ever met.
How dare you, sir?
Why don't you tell them how you really feel? Yeah, I'm going to hang up on your ass.
There you go. It's really funny. It's really funny because I told Vanessa early on. I said this relationship that we have in real life is definitely cat and dog like, brother sister.
Yeah.
And it's been that way since I met her. And we started to parlay that on film. And we call it the Sam and Diane, or like the moonlighting effect. Remember Bruce Willis and what's her name?
Oh,
like
yeah.
That, you didn't know if they were going to screw or they're going to fight.
Is she calling again?
She's calling again right now.
All right,
She's going to call your ass right up after the show.
All right,
I know that.
Let's take her call,
Let's
and then
take
Derek, we will have you on again, my friend.
Yes,
Thank you very
this is
much.
exciting here.
Thanks, Derek, for calling.
Thank you,
All
Derek.
right.
Yeah, you guys have
Bye.
fun.
Oh, you too,
Thanks.
sir. Take
right.
care. All right, let's
Bye, Derek.
get Vanessa on there.
Hello, Vanessa.
Hello, guys. How are
Hello,
you?
my name is
Hi,
Jeffrey
wow, the
of
lovely
the Jeff
Vanessa.
and Janki Show. How are
Vanessa,
you
you
doing?
blew my mind. You were on.
We just had to hang up on your buddy here.
We just gave Derek the golden toe.
We
to make room for him.
we had to kick Derek off to get you on. We couldn't merge because we're not engineers here. We couldn't
kicked
couldn't
his
merge
ass
both
to
your
care for you,
calls at
baby.
the same
I hope
time. We wanted a menage a trois phone call, but I'm sorry, man.
To get your dulcet tones, we kicked him to the curb. So
Okay, let's
no,
him. Let's get him off and get the hot chicks
No
here on
harm,
the radio.
no foul.
man.
Now we have two hot
That's
chicks
really
and
Vanessa.
Bruce. So you did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Tell us about that.
I did, yes. That was one of my first. That's how I got my SAG card. That was like in 1999, and I still get residual checks for like $12 or $7 at the once in a while.
Were you the murder victim in that? Were you the girl who gets murdered?
No, I was in a flashback scene in a high school thing. It wasn't that big of a part, but it was big for me at the time.
But you know
yeah.
what? The interesting thing about that is the director of that episode. I did a Starlog interview with the director of that episode, James Whitmore Jr. And
Really?
That's his favorite episode of all his work on the series. He thought that was the best one.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow. Where did you go to you went to the legendary Buffy the Vampire Slayer high school? Tell us about that.
Right there in
Oh my
Torrance.
gosh.
You went to
It's really from what I remember, I was so happy just to be on set. And, you know, when you go in, I was just in one of the schoolrooms. So I was probably more nervous and excited just to be there. I remember I was working with another girl and she was like, oh, I hate this. I like theater better. Too much standing around and waiting. I was like, are you kidding me? This is the best day of my life.
Many times, yeah.
I have a friend who does special effects, and he did Buffy, the show, not the actress. And he was telling me they had to build this cheeseball cemetery on the Paramount backlot because during the first couple of seasons of Buffy, you would have real people coming to see like their leaf flowers on their husband's grave, and you have vampires leaning on the gravestone smoking cigarettes.
Oh my God!
And it was that one off of the 605, and they basically got booted out of the cemetery. Because too many people were complaining. About chain smoking vampire.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you do on Z Fever, Vanessa?
On Z Fever, I played two parts. I played a forensic person, like the coroner person, and then I also played a zombie. I play a lot of zombies and meth addicts, which goes good with what we do now with Celebrity Rehab.
Wow. Now, which Barbie are you, Vanessa?
I play Midge. I play Dr. Midge. So Midge would be like Dr. Drew on Celebrity Rehab, but then Cop Ken forces Midge to have a breakdown, and she turns into Teresa, her former self, and goes up on the roof. And Teresa used to get by in life by giving hand jobs in alleys.
That's awesome. I'm looking at your doll in the box right
so
here.
So it sounds like your mom does an amazing job on craft service, and you do an amazing ability yourself.
Yes. My kids are thrilled about this role. So is my mother.
Oh my God! I'm just looking at that picture on Jimmy Kimmel meth match. Oh my God! Check her out with her little bunny backpack and the circles under your eyes and oh my God! Look at that.
Vanessa's awesome.
It was funny. I showed Tom that clip, and he didn't respond right away. And I thought it was funny because anyway, he was like, "I don't think it's funny for people to make fun of people."
I think it's funny. You look like all the girls over at the NA meeting I was at yesterday.
Let's be honest. Tom is coming at it from a different angle. He can't.
No, he's great, and he's always a good sport. But he's a great guy, and he's always helping people out that need help. And we're just fortunate to have him on the show.
Such a sweet guy.
He can't quite yet see the funny side of meth.
I can see it.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. So now, how long have you been doing zombie gigs? What was your first zombie gig? Because you're obviously very thin, which is what they want in a zombie and a meth head,
Well, I'm just I love doing character work, and plus I don't really like getting up early, as you can tell early when I fumbled. So I just kind of like rolling out of bed and then getting on set and then just sitting there. I'm so dedicated. But my first zombie stuff was on Kimmel, from the meth match stuff, and then now it's partly I did like 6 zombie things with Kimball, scaring people and doing other stuff, and there was like a voting thing with Hillary and Trump back a couple years ago, and then I did another Trump sketch recently with I'm being paid off because I have the illegitimate Trump child, and then there's a new sketch that's going to air. It has to do with the Trumpy Bear, and you should look this up. It's a real toy. It's on As Seen on TV. It's called the Trumpy Bear, and everybody thinks that Kimmel did this original thing, but they didn't. But anyway, they're doing a spoof on it. But it hasn't aired yet, but it'll air soon.
Wow! Now, who does your makeup on Z Fever?
Oh my God!
On Z Fever, I actually did my own because after 6 times, you kind of figure out what to do. But I've had actually the first time I did it, the most famous person that's ever done zombie makeup did mine at Kimmel.
Yeah.
He's
Tom
done like
Savini?
everything.
Was it Tom Savini?
I don't remember. I'm horrible with names, as you can tell from our earlier conversation.
Oh my God! I'm looking at all these photos. You could look so scary, and
looking at your
and then I
zombie
go
one.
like
We're
so
looking at your
sexy and
zombie
one,
shots now.
walking
Bruce-
down the red carpet, and then frightened. I'm just scared to death looking at these other.
Bruce and Mary are really digging your zombie look.
Oh my God, look at her. I can't believe that's her.
Oh, that one where you look like 102 years old on meth. I'm just going like, oh wow, oh my God, pin-up girl with polka dots. Look at that one.
Pin-up girl with polka dots. That's a favorite.
Oh God, look at that one, Patrick. You like that one, don't you?
That's cool.
Yeah, look at that.
I have to let you go because I've got to go down to the basement for my hearing.
We're
My
not
mom's
done
making a
with you
perfect
yet.
update
Blow the
back
hearing
here.
off. Just pay whatever they ask.
We didn't say you could go yet.
We flushed your producer to get you on this, woman. So,
Gosh, let's get her ass in here.
okay, we're gonna let
No,
you
here's
go.
my-
Go on.
No, Derek and I were a good team, so I'm sure he handled it well before I got here.
Yeah, he said you guys are like OJ and Nicole. You're like Menendez's
Sam
brother and
Diane
his father.
from Cheers.
I would go more with Sam and Diane, but okay.
From Cheers, yeah.
Yeah, he said you're like Chris Brown and Rihanna. Hey, thank you very much, Vanessa, for
Thank
calling
you.
in. Go save the ranch.
Yeah, speaking of ranch, I'd like to pour ranch. No, never mind.
Bye, Vanessa.
He said
Bye,
that.
Vanessa.
He
You
said
are
that.
so much fun.
Jeff said that while staring lovingly at Bruce. Take care, Vanessa. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Back to Mary Dallas and Bruce. I
Are
bet
we
you-
having fun on this show? And now we're finally streaming live.
We are
For those people just
Booyah.
tuning in on the Jeff and Janki show, we have live in the studio Mary Dallas.
Hi.
Hello.
And Bruce
Locklear.
Block. How do you say it? Spell it,
Locklear,
please.
moron, like Heather.
Like Heather Locklear, Bruce Locklear.
Bruce Locklear.
Bruce
Bruce Locklup.
Dallas, like Texas.
We're gonna have to call this
Dallas,
the
like
derp and Janky show.
And she brought bags. Look at this. Bought this bag. Look at this. Got this great bag here.
Telling ya.
And she brought me some prizes. Let's see. We've got Wi-Fi full figure party. Here, hold this up. Here, put her in a position, Bruce.
That's
And
how
then
I
on the
look.
table.
Okay, Bruce. Show the jury. Tell the jury where.
Have her doing push. Oh,
Tell
wow,
the
look.
jury where Jeff touched you.
Yeah. Okay, now can you put her hands on the ground like Patrick does in his music videos?
Oh, yeah.
All four. Look at that ass. Look at that. Look at
It's a
push up.
toy, for God's
Push
sake.
up. Turn her head on the camera. And then, okay, I want
Gee,
you to
you're
give us
scaring me, Jeff. You're starting to talk like the
Kama
hillside.
Sutra Barbie. Here.
Jeff is talking like the hillside strangler.
And this is the Kama Sutra Barbie.
Behold.
Can you
Wow.
put her in a Kama Sutra position, please?
Yes, dear. I
Yeah.
shall.
All right. Yeah. This. Oh yeah. Like. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's.
See, this is the part where all our viewers
Yes,
notice that Jeff
okay.
is a fetishist.
Okay. Put her right here.
There you go, baby.
Right here. It's like okay. Now it's gonna be your turn, Patrick.
The safety word is Mattel.
Yeah, the safety word is Mattel. There we go.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
No tell. Look at this.
No tell, he said.
Oh my gosh! Look, this is perfect right here.
Um,
I'm gonna put it right in front of Mary right there. Look at this. Oh gosh, and that's gonna be our photo. Yeah, group photos of that after the show.
yeah, no, go ahead, Mary.
You don't want me to do that.
Show us how to
Platform
attain.
shoes are.
Show us how to attain Nirvana.
We gotta paint her panties on this one. This is great.
Come
Such
on,
a great
Brucey. You can do it.
bag. Everybody, tune in
You
to
can get those at Comic Con on
And
Saturday.
Barbie,
Rehab,
yeah,
they
very
will
good,
be-
Mary. As Mary pointed out, they'll be at Comic Con.
Yep, we'll have a booth.
Now, have
Barbie
you guys
Rehab.
done Comic Con ever before? Either of you?
No.
Oh, you're in for a treat. This will be a blast. And Jeff wants a pass.
Oh, Jeff.
Well, I just got a note from. I will be taking young Clark Kent's place. Jeff East is going to give me his pass. So
I would be so
Nice.
disappointed to go for Jeff East, young Clark Kent, and run into Jeff Sargent.
here's name tag up there in the Superman panel, and Jeff Sargent is there replacing Jeff East.
They'll come up to him and say, Jesus, Jeff, what happened to you? The years were so cruel.
Pull off that mustache and that disguise kit. You're not fooling anybody. But it's great. We're gonna hang out on We'll be hanging out together.
Yeah, where are you going to be under the sails? Where's the booth going to be? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet. I don't know where.
Vanessa knows that, huh?
Hawaiian Troppy, call in and tell us where we're going to be on the booth.
Hawaiian Troppy is played
Hawaiian,
by who?
yeah.
Right?
Lauren Alvarez.
Alvarez, yeah.
Lauren Alvarez.
Yes.
Okay,
Let
cool.
me show you a picture of Lauren.
She's gorgeous. My God.
Stunning.
Like all my guy friends. Oh, yeah, I love her on the show.
I want to see your IMDb. I have to check all your IMDb. I mean, Vanessa had a Buffy credit. That's pretty good.
And
Hey,
Jimmy
I wrote
Kimmel.
in that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The Oscar Mayer Wiener
I used to
mobile.
work at Hot Dog on a Stick.
Yeah, Hot Dog on a Stick.
you know-
Oh,
I used to make
gosh.
that lemonade and wear the
You
hat.
know
and
what?
shit.
The hat adds to your sensuality.
The hat-
once
You
put a
know
girl
what?
in a
Yes,
hot dog on a stick.
Patrick and I at least speak for myself. We are just fantasizing you in your hot dog on a stick girl uniform
I'll jump in on
with
this.
the beach ball hat. Oh, and that lovely smile.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes. Putting mustard on that hot dog on a stick.
Tom and
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's, who do we got? That's Tom
Sizemore
Yeah, and the chick from The Crow.
Fat fingers. Let me see that.
Filing, go. Yeah.
Filing.
There's Betty Lang. Oh, yeah.
Filing and Tom.
Tom.
Oh, yes.
On the set
Lovely.
of Barbie Rehab.
On Barbie Rehab, everybody.
Season 2.
Boy, the likes are just coming in like machine gun fire, man. like bullet hell. Wow. David Hustler, how you doing? Lyle Fenmore.
Chinese Barbie.
Dan Rupp, say hi to Dan. Dan's watching.
Dan.
Wow, Dan Rupp on the other side of the looking glass.
He's on
today.
the other side of the looking glass.
We miss you, Dan.
Yes.
Wine Troppy might have to come in too.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Hawaiian
Yeah.
prop, yes.
I'm so glad you brought Bruce, but imagine what could have been.
Sorry, Hawaiian Troppy.
You ruined Hot Chick Thursday.
That's my hot dog on a stick.
Let me see.
We need you to see you in the hat.
Yeah, that's a different hat,
yeah.
but that's my sweatshirt from Hot Dog on a Stick. That's when I used to work there, 1986.
What? No, wait. You were actually a hot dog and a stick girl? Oh, my God. I like you even more now.
So you were the
Oh my
hottest.
God.
You were the hottest thing of '86. Forget the Challenger exploding.
Okay. I'm going to buy you a pair of go-go boots for your hot dog on a stick girl outfit. And
Keep the camera on the money.
Yeah, okay. Keep your camera on the money. And
No
we were going
one's
to make a
video.
music video.
Yeah, it's big
Yeah.
computer. I'll
In
drop
the
the
back
ball
of
in.
Jeff's van.
I want to be with a hot dog on a stick girl.
In the back of Jeff's van.
In the back of Jeff's van. This is
Hey,
from
Brucey.
this is from the upcoming album, The Depressing Return of Roger Rabbit.
There's from the promo video. I mean,
Wow.
that commercial.
Wow, what ghost project is this? Hold on.
They didn't even let me keep the outfit, darn it. No. I really like those socks.
That'll make a good ghost.
Yes.
Those socks were warm.
Wow,
Isn't that funny?
that's amazing.
Poor
That's the one
Mom.
sad thing about a zombie gig. On every zombie gig I've done, they'll put you in a comfortable outfit and then they have to age it up, and dirty it up and cover it in Fuller's Earth. What's that from? Get a shot of
Barbie
that.
Rehab.
Yeah,
There's a
get
couple
that-
other Barbies.
Get that shot with her and the Barbie is from Barbie Rehab.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Like that.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Fantastic, I tell you. Oh, and there's Lisa Wilcox and me.
Oh.
Lisa Wilcox.
And that's the glove
Was
from
Lisa
Nightmare on Elm
Wilcox?
Street.
Was Lisa on the show?
I just talked
Yeah.
to her. And, oh, my God. That's great.
Yes.
I
She got
adore
cast.
Lisa
She
Wilcox.
got cast.
We're gonna get her on the. We're gonna get her inside the studio.
She's
here.
got the greatest eyes of any actress you've ever seen. These
Beautiful.
piercing
There
blue
she
eyes.
is with Bruce.
Wow. And her claim to fame, her son, when he was like 3, vomited all over Mark Hamill's backyard. It's one of her better stories.
Can I also plug one more thing? I just
Please.
got cast on a new web series by the amazing Corey Turner.
Tell us
from
about
the Corey
that.
Turner Show.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a web series. Can't really give it anything away, but
I'm
cast-
assuming Corey Turner will
it's
be
called
play some part in it.
Work from Home, right? Work from
Work
home.
from home.
Are you in it
I
too,
would
Bruce,
love to
or-
work from home and get paid
I
for
know
it.
it's fantastic, you guys. It's going to be hilarious.
We can't all be Jimmy Shaw.
Well, I know it's anything you do is going to be hilarious.
Aw, thank you, you guys.
Because you're a funny gal.
You are.
Looks aren't everything.
You're a funny girl.
How dare you?
Why don't they just do a remake of Funny Girl starring Mary Dallas?
I'll play Babs. They have the nose.
Yeah, we could use prosthetics and we could put
Yeah, we can add a little more.
Yeah, this is going to be the Greek version.
Mary Dallas.
And I speak Greek too. Mary Dallas. Oh, I remember that. I remember that in
See
high
what
school.
I did there?
Debbie does Dallas. Remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody made fun of me in high school because of that.
Wow.
I'm like, what are they talking about? My brother's like, it's a porn, dummy.
Why don't you say something to the Greek listeners?
Yeah.
In Greek.
Give us a
Yasis
mess-
tikanete. Kani zesti simera. It's hot today.
Oh.
That sounds good.
Thank you. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Εγώ είμαι η Maria Delianis.
Say moron in Greek.
Moron in Greek.
Hey, you moron.
You know, I just know you don't have any brain. Δεν έχεις μυαλό στο κεφάλι σου. Πίτι για τα φίδια είσαι.
Wow. Not bad there,
Θα σου
man.
δει ανάποδα. It's coming at you backward.
Wait, it's what?
My mom was just there too also. It's coming at you backward. Θα σου δει ανάποδα.
Wow. So what is the, what is, oh, sorry, go on, you were saying?
How
Bruce?
come you weren't in My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Good question.
You would have been great in that movie.
She'll be in the third
I
one.
auditioned for The Last Ship playing this Greek mom. And man, I killed it. Didn't get the part.
She
I
didn't
guess
look
it means
old
it didn't
enough.
kill it.
But the actual character was 67. I think that probably has something to do with it.
We had
I
an
got to
actress.
yell.
We had an actress from The Last Ship on the show. She played the grandmother.
That's the one that got my part.
Yes, that's right.
She's really nice. She's friends with me on Facebook too. Very nice lady. She deserves
Did
it.
she send you a quick?
I was like, you got my part. Love you.
Just say, I feel bad for you, Mary Dallas, as I get drunk here at the rap party. Adam Baldwin
it's
is
funny
driving me home.
The casting director.
So their name?
Casting
She's
director.
having a blank.
I
Mary
totally
Jo
went
Slater?
blank. But he's a short guy, really sweet guy. I said, and he goes, okay, and how would your mom yell at your brother if he was doing something that was going to cause him to maybe lose his life? I'm like, oh, get mad. I'm like, oh, and then I stood up and and I started going like this, and he goes, oh, that's better.
Wow.
Did you? That always amazes me how people grow up bilingual and speak these languages. Is that when you're a small child and you're hearing both languages?
Well, I only spoke Greek at home, and they sent me to school, and I didn't speak any English. It was like the Peanuts characters, wah, wah.
Yeah.
That's what the teacher sounded like to me in real life. It's a true story.
So
I did kindergarten twice, and I learned at school. Oh, wow. My mom learned to speak English watching General Hospital.
Her mom would always bite her lip and cry.
That's amazing because
didn't
I've
speak
seen
any English.
She said, Mary, like the sands of an hourglass.
Which you as a child.
I'm sorry.
Bad. So you would you interpret for your mom like you go out shopping when you were a child, and
Mary would say, Mom, she's sleeping with her twin sister.
I've seen that happen all through my life. I'd see children interpreting language to their grandparents and their parents.
Jeff's mother spoke no English. She would translate in Pig Latin and everything.
That's amazing.
Ixnay, I'm saying.
You're going to call up my mom right now and apologize.
Hey, she gave birth to you. She should apologize to us.
We wouldn't be here.
It would be the Janki show, and we'd be doing just as well.
Yeah.
Do I have a cliffhanger?
I feel like I'm co-hosting with Basket Case.
Oh God, I felt sorry for that guy.
So a fun fact about Mary,
Please.
you guys may not know, is Mary used to do some modeling.
I did?
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us
when I
about
was
that.
really young.
Tell them about the milk.
You
milk
still are
commercial.
really young.
Oh, you guys.
The milk
I had
commercial.
Mary,
had no
just out of
acting
college, she
training.
did a snuff video.
Yeah, I
one
didn't
too.
see that.
How did you guys find out about that?
She had a knife and a gimp mask. What?
Where can
Tell
I
us
see
about your
that
milk
one?
commercial, baby.
Well, I had no acting training whatsoever. I've never even been on a set, and I don't know how I got this part. It's like a blur to me. So there I am on the set, and they have this makeshift kitchen, and I'm wearing like the 80s headband and exercising outfit, and a towel over my shoulder. And
They said Harvey Weinstein will see you now.
Doing the flash dance look. You know?
I think he was there, but I don't know.
Ooh,
But,
okay.
so I can walk in, and I only had a couple of lines. I'll say after a really hard workout, the only thing that quenches my thirst is milk. And then you pour the milk, take a drink, milk. Does the body good. Those are the lines.
Oh my God! And it's
I couldn't get it. As soon as the camera came on, I was like this. And they were like, after like the third time, the guy goes, "Oh, who brought her in here?"
Get the F off my stage. Is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
He said.
The producer said, sorry, favor to a friend.
It was horrifying. I never went back after that.
Wow.
Until I was 48 and I started doing background, and then I got the Macklemore thing. I'm like, you know what? I need training. I didn't have any training at that point.
And, but a commercial like that, it broke my heart. I did a Burger King commercial. The hard hat on a girder, and the Burger King hands me a burger. And we've been doing it we've been filming for 2 hours.
I think I remember you in that.
Yeah, it was the Burger King brings me. I'm fighting with this other guy on the burger on the girder, and Burger King makes us friends with us by bringing me the Whopper. And the great thing is, my friend, the other guy in the commercial, is using a spit bucket because we're like 50 feet in the air over a construction site in Pasadena. I would eat my Whopper every take. I would eat the entire frigging Whopper. And the
They're
creative
props, man. They're props.
Well, they had a food painter. It was
Sounds delish.
non-toxic food painter. And I'm like,
Oh no!
and then
I remember that.
Mr. Greasy Fingers.
yeah, the
Yes.
producer comes back with the creatives come back with a couple notes. One is let Pat enjoy the Whopper without touching it, because one of their complaints was I made the full-size Whopper with my hands. When I grabbed it, I made it look like their 99-cent burger.
No, it looked like a slider from White Castle
It broke
with
my
Pat
heart.
with his big manure hook.
I've been
his
eating.
big hands.
I've been eating
Big-
Whoppers for 2 hours straight. It was the greatest gig of my life. It was like,
Oh my God!
and so when it became, I had to do the admiring from afar, like in the old cartoon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Burger King holds the plate out, and you can't touch it or put your hand near it.
Oh my God!
I think I remember that commercial.
It's on my Spotify if you take a look. You know what I mean?
I remember you. I remember. That's why
Yes.
when I first saw him when I came in the studio, I'm like, God, he looks
well,
familiar. Now I know why.
The weird thing about that is they put us in these safety harnesses. And I kept telling the guy with me, I go, come on, don't be a puss. When we're done, because we got the safety harness on, let's jump out. Because there was rebar. There was like
Right.
20-foot rebar below us. I said, we jump off the girder and we get to dangle above rebar. When will we get a chance to do that? And they shot this thing fast, in like 4 hours. Because Burger King, he's in the suit and the mask and all that. So they had it done. It was science, how fast you could do it. Wow. And I go, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm going, telling you, we'll do it together. I don't want to do it alone because I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
The stunt coordinator comes up. And he goes, it's a good thing neither of you fell. I didn't have time to hook you up.
Oh my God.
Oh, you would have been impaled like
I almost committed,
shish kebab.
I almost committed involuntary suicide on a Burger King commercial.
Oh my God!
Because I thought it'd be fun. We'd be like skydivers. We'd just jump out, roll back, and I would have been impaled.
So why didn't you do it? Because the other guy with you
The
thought,
other guy
no,
wouldn't do it.
we're
I
not
didn't
going
want
to
to
do
be
it.
the a-hole dangling, while he's being the professional. I thought if I could talk him into it, we could do it together and make it look like an accident. We lost our weight, balance on the girder or something. And the stunt coordinator comes up and he goes, good thing you guys didn't slip. I didn't have time to hook you up. But it's like,
Guy's not very sharp tack, is he?
If you told him what you're doing, like, oh my God, I would have shoved you over anyway.
I told that guy, you were my friend for life.
For life.
Oh, what about the idiot that didn't hook you up?
No, I mean,
Jeez.
I would have gone right under the rebar like a fish on a stick.
And would have been dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite dead.
My God.
The end of Patrick
terrible.
as we know it.
See, wouldn't that have been terrible, Bruce? I
You'd
think
be
it would have
worm
been
food
terrible.
right now.
Terrible.
Thank you, exactly. I'd kick the oxygen habit against my will.
Patrick.
So when'd you shoot your commercial?
That was a few months ago, wasn't it?
Where?
The Ready Player
it was
One.
at that.
Yeah.
It was a studio in. Gosh, what was the name of that studio?
Where were you all?
Wait a minute.
William Street. What?
I have it on my Facebook.
Please.
Did you guys see Ready Player One?
I
I never got to see it. I want to see it because the Iron Giant
It showed up.
is in it. I
What did you
love that
think of it?
character.
I like the book better.
Well,
How can you read a book about all the video? That would be more fun to watch.
I love
No
Spielberg,
pictures in
but
the book.
I thought that-
Avenue 6 Studios.
What?
Avenue 6 Studios.
I shot it. I think that's
Is that where they do a lot of Adult Swim stuff?
Yeah, you
Yes,
guys, I'm telling you,
yes.
these are huge soundstage. They built that trailer that I'm in right there in the parking lot.
Who directed your spot?
There was Sony was there, Steven Spielberg's people were there, and the studio Warner Brothers executives.
Was Spielberg on set at all? Did you
No.
meet him? Okay, because
his reps were there. I think.
what's amazing with Spielberg
They
on
were
set,
watching me.
but it's like being on Skull Island, and you know when Spielberg is coming because the jungle drums get really. Everyone is running to and fro. Everyone's running.
My legs were shaking.
Wow, yeah, and I mean Kathleen Kennedy would show up, and then Spielberg himself, and you're waiting for like a 40-foot ape based on all the hype, and this rumpled soccer dad shows up, and it's like, really, this is the great Spielberg.
It was something though, you guys. In that trailer, it was so small, and there was wires everywhere, all on the ground. He tells me take a step this way, and then go towards the camera. This huge camera. And then do your lines, not too intense, but kind of intense, but not too, but kind of. I'm like, you lost me. Take a step to the side, man. I was done after that. I was like, huh? And I just kind of let it happen, It's like, when are you gonna grow up? You're 18 years old.
That's good though. It's funny. You're charming too.
Thank you.
All right, now Mary and Bruce. Here's the sad part of the show. The good one for you.
We got 5 more minutes.
4.5 minutes and counting. Let's plug the hell out of each other. You two.
Okay.
Well, ladies first, or you want to start, Bruce?
Ladies first.
Okay, good.
What are we doing?
The lovely Mary Dallas is going to tell us everything.
We got a long 5 minutes left of the show.
4.5.
All right.
No,
Barbie Rehab.
I'm
folks.
looking at. Okay, is that
I'm looking
how
at-
accurate is that? What's the time on your
It's
phone, Scott?
8:51, moron. It's 4 minutes.
8:51.
See, 4 minutes.
Okay.
That's how the pros do it.
Watch Barbie Rehab, you guys. Catch up on Barbie Rehab season 1 on YouTube. Get addicted, folks. That way you'll know. You'll be up to date when season 2 comes out, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
And Mary's Ready Player One commercials
Ready
are
Player
running on
One
Adult Swim.
On Adult Swim, July 23rd through August.
Yeah.
And then the Corey Turner show for his new web series called Work From Home. That's going to be on Netflix, on YouTube, and on Facebook.
We have to go to that. The Adult Swim is having an event.
Really?
And we've got to do that. That's going to be a
use
big
my
thing.
clip.
Okay. Then, now, Mary, how do our obsessive compulsive viewers follow you?
On Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
As Mary Dallas.
And LinkedIn. Yeah, Mary Dallas.
Very nice.
And I have a YouTube channel to go watch my videos.
Oh, do you really? The Mary Dallas channel?
Yeah, something like that, right?
I think it's Mary Dallas 1.
Yeah,
Mary Dallas 1.
I like how she barks at
There's
Bruce.
an imposter on there.
She barks at Bruce like a publicist. What's my channel, Bruce?
Oh, you should
My TV
hear her
hubby.
sometimes.
I deleted something on accident, and I just was bawling because they had like 1,400 views. I'm like, so I just made another one.
Oh, I was excited when you said you were bawling.
I was bawling,
You meant in the old school sense.
crying like a schoolgirl.
There we go. All right, Bruce, your turn. Thank you, lovely one.
Thank you.
So, hi guys. Yes, coming to you live at Kaotic Radio. We want you to watch Barbie Rehab. Season 1 is on YouTube.
Quite a pro until you flubbed the title.
What?
You were quite the pro until you flubbed the title.
Barbie Rehab. Yeah.
Barbie Rehab.
So, yeah, in season 2, we got Tom Sizemore, Bai Ling, Lisa Wilcox, and we really want Juliette Lewis to play Rocker
Please.
Barbie. So, yeah, tune into the
Please,
show.
yeah.
You can follow me on Facebook, Bruce Locklear, and Twitter at Vail Bruce. It's VAIL Bruce, and also on Instagram.
And Barbie Rehab also is on.
And Barbie Rehab.
At Barbie Rehab. BARBEEREHAB.
Wow.
And our Facebook page is Barbie Rehab.
Yep.
Spelled BARBEE Rehab.
Yeah. 2 E's. Yes.
And Bruce will be manning the Barbie Rehab booth on the floor at Comic-Con, which is a major, that's well worth a stop.
And Hawaiian Tropi.
Hawaiian Tropi, the lovely Hawaiian Tropi
Beautiful
will
girl.
be with me at Comic-Con. But I think we'll be in
Passing
Star
out
Trek
merchandise.
outfits.
Oh, you really?
Well, we'll be in our twins outfits.
Yay!
Look for me and Janki at Comic-Con. We'll
Yeah,
be
you guys gotta see each
wandering
other.
around aimlessly.
We will be wandering around aimlessly. If I'm doing an interview, still say hi. But if it's somebody really important I need to sell, give me 5 minutes. Hey, Mary and Bruce, you guys were terrific. Thank you
Yeah,
so
we had
much.
a great fun.
Thanks, you
the
guys.
Barbies, this is really making the show right here. Yes, look at that. Wow.
We also want to thank Aaron Orr. What's his?
Derek
S.
Orr with
Derek
Iron
S. Orr.
Orr Productions and Vanessa Bednar.
And Vanessa Bednar.
They're the showrunners for Barbie Rehab.
They were both delightful. You guys
Love
were
them.
terrific.
Thank you.
Please come back. We really enjoyed both
Thank
of you.
you.
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
having us.
Thank you
guys.
for watching the Jeff Sargent Show. Tomorrow is
Chick
the
Friday.
radioactive chicken heads.
Which is ironic because it's supposed to be Hot Chick Friday.
Yeah, but it's great. We're going to have all these chicken heads. We're going to see Laffy Pants, the clown. It's going to be a barrel of monkeys, I'll tell you that.
Laffy Puns.
It's going to be a bucket of chicken heads.
Chicken heads.
We're going to have a great show
Boy,
tomorrow.
oh boy.
And severed fingers and toes.
Mary and Bruce really feel they missed out.
Yes. All right. I guess what time is it on your thing? Is it
It is 8:55.
8?
We are off the air.
We are off the air, but we're still live streaming. Hey, Matt Williams, how you doing, man? All the way from Texas. Yes, all right. Let
the
me go.
stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Reminds me of the land of deep in the heart of Texas.
Hey, Matt, we'll see you later, Matt. We'll have you on the show soon enough. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, nicely done.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Oh, crap. I've got to.
Sign out. Turn off the live feed so we can talk offensively.
Okay.
Wow, you guys were great. Thank you so much for doing the show. Bruce, very nice to meet your acquaintance.
You too, Patrick.
Lovely,
Thank you.
lovely Mary Dallas.
Oh,
thank you for
thank you
coming,
very
baby.
much. Of course.